Hi, I'm Sarah from Paris. I live with my single mom and unfortunately my sister Zoa, who's always been my biggest rival, and a pain in my butt. Like, when I was 5, a tutor would come to teach us, and one day he praised me in front of my mom.
Ma'am, your Sarah is a brilliant child. She's a quick learner. She can understand a concept in just an hour, but for the same thing, Zoa takes 3 days.
Zoa couldn't tolerate this and hit me hard on my head with a notebook. Before I could react, Mom yelled at her and grounded her for a week. I never really understood why she was jealous of me for being smarter. I wasn't jealous of her for being prettier. Whenever we went out together, people noticed her first and gave her compliments, but she was still so insecure. But maybe the reason why she really hated me was because I was fearless. Once when I was 10, the 3 of us were out on a picnic when I noticed a man snatch a woman's purse and run away. I immediately stuck out my leg and he tripped and fell down hard. The thief was taken away by the police, and everyone there clapped for me except for Zoa. Mom was pretty freaked out too.
Sarah, the thief could have had a weapon. He could have hurt you. Don't do that again. You're just a child.
Yeah, dummy cow. This is not some movie where you pretend to be an action hero. This is real life, and I'm afraid one day someone might cut you down into pieces.
I know what your actual concern is, Zoa, and it's not for my safety. You just can't stand it when I'm praised by people, can you?
Oh, please. I get plenty of praise because I'm so pretty. Have you ever heard someone use that word for you? I bet you can't even spell it. It's P-R-E-T-Y.
You forgot a T dinosaur brains.
And you forgot my hand dinosaur face.
And suddenly she slapped me, and we broke into a huge fight right in the middle of the park. As we grew up, she became prettier and more popular in school. All the time, boys would roam around her, while her minions cracked jokes about how I must be adopted. But I never let Zoa or any of those bullies get to me. I was smarter and stronger than those idiots any day. Once in 9th grade, I was looking for a book in the library when I noticed a boy staring at me from a gap in the shelf. I just went back to my seat and started reading my book, but he sat down in front of me.
Hey, what's your name? You're very pretty.
No way! This was definitely a prank. If I was really pretty, why was he the first boy to say so? I just walked off without a reply. I was in no mood to be made fun of, but the next day when I was walking through the hallway, I suddenly tripped over something and went flying straight into someone's arms. It was the boy from the library. Oh, thank you so much.
If you want to thank me, just tell me your name, please.
I did, and it turned out his name was Henry, and he was my senior. We became good friends and started hanging out together all of the time. One day when I went to the cafeteria, I found a large poster stuck to a wall. It was my picture with an ugly mustache and devil horns in the caption, Sarah, the ugly monster. As I saw Zoa and her friends cackling in the distance, I was about to tear it down when Henry walked in.
Wow, someone's really jealous of your beauty, Sarah.
And with that, he tore it in half. Then he turned to me and said in front of everyone,
I think you're the most beautiful girl here, and you're smart and funny. You're just amazing. Will you be my girlfriend, Sarah?
I was shocked, but I said yes. And what made me even happier was seeing Zoa burn with rage. The next few days, I felt like a princess in some fairy tale. I would roam around with Henry, he would bring me roses, and would lie with his head in my lap for hours. It was all so beautiful. Then one day, he asked me to go to a party with him. That evening, I was getting ready when Zoa came running into my room all breathless.
Sarah, my sister, I need to tell you something. Please stay away from Henry because he is a cheater. He is dating 3 girls, including me and you. He just kissed me today out of the blue.
What? You're such a psycho liar. Get out of my room, Zoa. But then she showed me something that left me stunned. It was a picture where she and Henry were kissing. I couldn't believe it. I ran to the washroom and Zoa followed me.
Sarah, why are you crying? So what if he found me more attractive than you and kissed me? At least now we know his true colors. Don't cry, sis. This is for the best.
I angrily pushed her aside. I'm not crying. Something just went into my eye. And I don't care if he kissed you. He's still my boyfriend. Get out now. I left home pretending to see Henry, but of course I wasn't going to meet that jerk. I went to a park and sat alone and kept rejecting his phone calls. When he kept messaging me, I sent him the pictures Zoa showed me. He started giving me excuses, but I didn't believe a single word he said. After an hour, I went home as if everything was perfectly fine. The next day in school, I was sitting on the bleachers when someone tapped on my shoulder. It was Henry. Just as he began speaking, I grabbed him by his collar angrily. Listen, I told you yesterday. But then, suddenly, I spotted Zoa looking at us, and I immediately pulled Henry close and kissed him. When Zoa left, I pushed him back hard. Listen, I told you yesterday to stay away from me. I don't want to see your face again.
But Sarah, I swear I never cheated on you. I was just having my Coke when Zoa came out of nowhere and kissed me. I was really angry with her.
It takes 2 people to kiss, and you were one of them. So just stop lying and leave me alone, cheater. I put my fingers in my ears and walked away from him. But that night, something really strange happened. We were all asleep when we heard Zoa screaming. We ran to her room to find a boy in Zoa's room, and she was beating his butt with a stick. The boy was from our school.
Mom, I caught this thief. I caught him. Call the police. Call the media. I'm so brave. I'm a hero.
I'm not a thief. I'm Zoa's freaking boyfriend. I just came to see her and she went bonkers on me. Crazy girl. Oh, also, Sarah, she kissed her boyfriend and told me to take pictures of her doing that. He was so mad at her. In case you didn't know, your sister's a psycho.
Oh, God. Henry was telling the truth, and I hadn't believed him. The boy broke up with Zoa, jumped out the window while I turned around and pounced on her. I pulled her hair as hard as I could till Mom pulled me away. The next morning, I literally ran to school and found Henry and apologized to him. He opened his arms and we hugged each other really tight. Time passed and we graduated from school. Henry went abroad for his higher education and Zoe and I started college. Then, one day, Mom suddenly felt some pain in her chest, and after the doctor's examination, it turned out that she needed a really expensive heart surgery. This was the first time in my life that I felt scared. We didn't have enough money, so I took up a part-time job to start saving. I asked Zoa too, but she flatly refused.
I'm sorry, but a princess like me can't work. Look at my hands, so soft and delicate. I'm not spoiling them. No, you're the Tarzan of the family, the strong one. You got this, girl.
And just like that, she walked off. Just a few days later, I heard Mom screaming. I ran to her room, and she was standing in front of some empty drawers, asking me where all her jewelry had gone. I had no idea, and we marched straight to Zoa's room. She wasn't there, but a note was lying on her bed.
Mom, Sarah, my journey with you people ends here. I can't live with poor depressed people like you anymore. Mom, please make Sarah the heir of this damaged house, because I like mansions only. I'm taking all the jewelry as memories of you, Mom. Love you, but don't look for me.
Mom was completely devastated. I took her to her room and put her to sleep, but I was in despair. We were left with nothing. My salary wasn't enough for the treatment. I left home to contact some charity organization, and on my way it started raining. Just then, I saw a huge crowd gathered around on a bridge. I looked down and saw a small kitten hanging onto a log in the strong river current, and people were just standing around making videos and doing nothing. Luckily, I found a piece of rope tied to the bridge. Without another thought, I climbed down the rope and reached out for the kitten. Some people started helping me then by pulling us up, and we both landed safely. I was completely drenched in the rain, so I decided to go back home. That evening, someone rang our doorbell, and when I opened the door, I found a bunch of people with cameras and mics standing outside.
You saved a little kitten today, without caring about your own life. What would you like to say?
This girl, people, she's a hero. She makes us believe that good people truly exist. She's restored my faith and humanity.
Wait, what? What was going on? And I soon found out that people had been making videos of me saving the cat, and they'd gone viral. And before I knew it, I had become quite famous. I was in newspapers and giving interviews on news channels. I was honored by the government with a bravery reward and also given $30,000. And of course, the first thing I did was get my mom's heart surgery. It was successful, and she recovered fully in a few months. Soon after, I got an offer to participate in a really famous reality stunt show, and I accepted. Within no time, I'd become a celebrity. And now, Mom and I were rich. We were living a great life until one day someone knocked on the door. When I opened it, I was shocked to see Zoa as she tried to step inside. I blocked her path.
Where's Mom? I need her help. My boyfriend cheated on me. He made me pregnant and ran away with all my money and jewelry. I've got nothing to eat.
Are you so fat because you're pregnant again?
Oh, no! Luckily, I had a miscarriage, but I had lots of cravings while I was pregnant, so I gained some weight. It's nothing. I'll be back to my old shape in no time. You'll see.
Are you sure you're not pregnant?
Of course. I said so already.
Then I kicked her so hard she fell back on her butt. How dare you call her Mom? You left her when she was fighting for her life. No, you robbed her first and then left her. You're just a blood-sucking leech, Zoa, and you deserve whatever bad things come your way. Now get lost, and don't show up here again. And I slammed the door on her face. Half an hour later, the bell rang again. Oh God, this Zoa! Maybe I needed to kick her harder this time. But when I opened the door, I was shocked. It was Henry. He opened his arms and I jumped to hug him. Oh, I can't believe it's you, Henry. I've missed you so much.
I've missed you too, sweetheart. And I have a really important question for you, Sarah. Will you marry me?
Oh my God, yes. 100 times yes. And then we kissed.
Suddenly, I saw one of Mom's menacing security guards racing toward me. I sprinted through the airport, my suitcase wheels spinning faster than my excuses for late homework. But up ahead, another security guard blocked the exit. Luckily, a team of cheerleaders passed by, shaking pom-poms. I wrestled for one. Give it, or I'll cartwheel you out on the runway. I covered my face with the pom-pom, but I knew I was trapped. And then I saw the man of my dreams waiting for his new wife. Okay, let's back up. My name is Malika, and from an early age, I knew my mom was different from other moms.
Mom, some kid is bullying me.
So, which option would you choose for him? I could have him dumped in the middle of the forest and let him wander there for a few days? Or would you prefer a deserted island?
Oh, no, Mom! I was just kidding. He did nothing. I just wanted to see if you'd care. Love you. You're the best.
I stopped her just in time. The kid never bothered me again. Actually, I never saw him at school as he moved. But that was my mom, the undisputed queen pin of our family, and lived a life straight out of The Sopranos. And growing up, I desperately wanted her to change. We could have a normal life, sunbathing with no guards.
Okay, you're right.
No more bulletproof vests. Wait, what?
We can do a little travel to the old country, just the two of us.
I was excited for some real mom-daughter time, but at the airport, everything changed.
We'll do the normal life thing, but first, I need you to marry this guy.
What?
He's the son of my enemy. This way, he can become an empire. Do it for the family.
Ugh, really? Guess Mom's never gonna change. I fake smiled, excused myself for the bathroom, and while she wasn't looking and busy giving orders, I dashed off to buy a ticket for any plane leaving soon. My heart was racing, but I was saint being part of her chess game. I needed to be me, to live my own story. Goodbye forever. When I landed, I thought I might just get away with it. But the next minute, I was hiding from her guards behind a pom-pom. And then suddenly, I saw this studious-looking girl who, if she removed her glasses, looked almost like me arguing over the phone.
I know the priest swears they're a good family, but isn't it weird that they just called this week and you even agreed to send me over just because he's a little richer than us? And why didn't we send a photo first? Oh, right! You never liked any of my pictures enough to show them. Still, I don't like this arranged marriage thing at all. What?
Mom's security guards were getting closer and closer.
Mom? Yeah, who cares if he's in the police force? What if he chews loudly when he eats or trims his toenails in the sink? And if he spills Melina wrong on the airport sign, I will freak out.
Oh no! Her mom was also trying to fix this poor girl up with someone. As fate would have it, a walking Pinterest board for male beauty appeared holding a Melina sign. Boy, that Melina is lucky. Wait, he hasn't met this Melina yet. I could do this, right? Pretend to be her, just for a while. Just to escape. I took a deep breath and marched towards him, my heart racing with every step. Yeah, maybe he would catch me, but I had to take a chance. I ran towards my newly arranged marriage.
Do you have sunburn, or are you always this hot? Nice to finally meet you, Rory. I'm Melina.
Weird. I was told you were really serious.
Well, yeah,
And that you'd be taller.
Taller? Oh, yeah. That's because of the heels. Today I thought I'd come as the real me. Shush! I'm having travel sickness, so we need to leave the airport now.
Later, at his place, I met the mom I never had but always wanted. She was all sugar and no spice, the total opposite of my mom.
So, dear, what are your dreams?
To not end up in the family business and fleeing for my own wedding.
Oh no, I blurted out. Thankfully, she laughed, probably thinking I was joking. However, Rory wasn't convinced.
What's going on? Who are you?
For a second, I thought it was all over. But now it wasn't that simple. I had one more trick up my sleeve.
Oh, Rory, you caught me. I'm actually an international spy on a secret mission, and I thought you'd make the perfect cover husband.
Before he could say anything else, his mom stopped his interrogation and he stormed off. But then he tripped on the stairstep, and we couldn't help but laugh, like we'd been best friends forever. Once she caught me staring into space, secretly freaking out about Mom, and she sat down with me and held my hand.
If you're worried about anything, just tell me. Honey, I'll always be here for you.
Part of me just wanted to tell her the truth, but I couldn't. This was exactly the life I'd always wanted. But then, a few hours later, Rory's mom's phone went off.
Oh, a big hi. Hey, Melina, it's your mom.
I jumped for the phone as quickly as a cat chasing a laser and snatched it out of her hands. I tried to hang up, but I was so nervous I couldn't hit the right button.
My daughter had to come back because your son never showed up. I thought you were serious and good people. The deal is off.
Luckily, Rory's mom didn't hear that, and at least Melina won't be coming to Rory's house anytime soon. Finally, I managed to hang up, and I blocked her number. Then, I only had to fake smile and go on with the conversation.
Hey Mom, what's up? Yeah, I got here just fine. The weather, 100% chances of charming conversations and cozy family vibes.
Rory's mom laughed happily when I pretended to hang up with my mom. She gave me a big hug.
Just to think, Rory didn't want to take your number in the first place. I had to force him to meet up with you. It was the best thing I ever did.
Ah, I loved her. Although Rory's mom already treated me like her own daughter, Rory was still icier than a snow cone in a freezer. But that changed. One afternoon, we were walking in the park when his mom, while trying to feed some ducks, fell into the lake. She didn't know how to swim, so she started screaming for help. I immediately jumped into the water to rescue her like a superhero, only to remember seconds later, I didn't know how to swim either, so I started screaming for help. Rory ran towards us and jumped into the lake too. And guess what? Yeah, he didn't know how to swim either. Still together, the three of us were able to float to shore and get out of the lake safe and sound.
I'm sorry. I panicked and didn't know what to do.
Don't apologize. You were pretty brave.
He smiled for the first time. I couldn't help but blush.
I'm just glad you're okay.
Wow, did he, care? Wait, did I care? Then I noticed that my phone was completely soaked. It was still spitting water. Oh no! I was about to give it mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. But Rory took it and coolly went off to perform some tech surgery till it was as good as new.
What a dream! Thanks!
You're welcome.
From that moment on, Rory was even sweeter than his mom. It was almost like that drowning incident had made him fall for me, and I was starting to feel the same. I was having the best time of my life, but then my nightmare finally came true. Melina and her mom showed up. Apparently, Rory's mom told everyone how happy she was with me, and the word reached them.
Mom, you were right about us needing to come here. There's something not right. And you're the imposter. You think you can just waltz in and take over my life?
I never wanted this. I was just trying to escape my mom.
I had to come clean and tell them everything, but they were still super mad. Then I turned to Rory and his mom.
I'm sorry. I never meant to hurt you.
Rory's mom had tears in her eyes, and he couldn't even look at me. I felt like the most dreadful person in the entire world. And at that moment, I knew I had to leave. I didn't get very far before I saw 5 of Mom's security. They must have tracked my phone. Just as they went to grab me, I threw sand in their faces and ran back to Rory's house. But the door was closed. I knocked and knocked and knocked.
Please, Rory. I know I don't deserve any help, but I can't marry the guy my mom wants me to. Please help me.
Suddenly, the 5 security guards were behind me. Right at that moment, the door finally opened and Rory stepped out. My hero. He held my hands, and I felt my whole body tingle. I knew you weren't going to leave me just like that. The truth is, I think I love. Rory turned me around to face Mom's security.
Here, take her.
Wait, what?
Rory wasn't saving me. He was handing me over to Mom's security.
I knew I couldn't trust you. Like I was saying, the truth is, I loathe you.
Despite my kicking and screaming, Rory turned his back on me. So it was just me against them. Time to show them what I'm capable of. I channeled my inner John Wick and leapt forward with a powerful flying kick. Take this! They just caught me in midair and dragged me off. Looks like I need to keep practicing my combat moves. Soon, we arrived at Mom's private jet.
You betrayed your family! Now get ready for your wedding!
I started crying, but didn't complain. Maybe it was my destiny. We were just about to take off when suddenly sirens whirred and a bunch of police showed up. I couldn't believe it. They arrested Mom and all her men. I was so confused and scared. But there on the runway stood Rory.
I had to make it look like I was helping them. As soon as you left, I let the authorities know. I'm actually not a cop myself, but I'm the IT guy for the police force, so got connections.
You shouldn't have done that!
What? I thought you wanted me to help you.
Not by involving the police!
Before he could reply, I saw Mom escape. I couldn't just let her get away like that and ran after her.
Mom, stop! Please!
I chased her till we reached the edge of a small cliff and there was nowhere to run.
You traitor! How could you call the police on me?
I didn't, Mom. You think I don't know that? You're probably on every wanted list in the country. And if the police ever got their hands on you, you'd be in prison for a long time.
Then why are you chasing me? To hand me over to them?
Who said that's why I came after you? I just didn't want you to leave without saying goodbye. That was clearly not the answer Mom was expecting. I accept you for who you are, Mom. You're a mafia boss, and even a decade in jail isn't going to reform you. You'd probably be leading criminal activities from inside a prison cell, too. You can't change someone just by wishing they were different. So I'm not even gonna try. But I do get to choose what I want for my life. And that definitely doesn't involve following your orders or going down the same path as you. You'll have to accept that about me, too.
Mom stood silent for a few seconds, then suddenly stepped forward and hugged me.
I know I'm not like other moms.
No kidding.
But I do love you in my own way also. I see myself in you. And I think you have the makings of a good mafia queen.
Really? Really not interested?
You might change your mind one day.
Don't hold your breath. You should leave now before the cops get here. You'll stay in touch, right?
Of course. And you don't need to worry about money either. I'll find a way to get it to you every month. I'll see you sooner than you think, love.
Stay safe, Mom.
And with that, I let her run off into the forest while I went back and told the cops she'd gone in the opposite direction. I apologized to Rory about my outburst, and I think he knew I let Mom escape, but he never brought it up again. We went back to his house, and after I explained more about my whole scary and traumatic mom thing, Rory's mom forgave me and hugged me too. I moved into a tiny apartment close to Rory's house. But I spend most of my evenings with him and his mom, sharing home-cooked meals and laughter, and it's the happiest I've ever been. Now, a year later, I'm flying off to the Cayman Islands for a 2-week vacation. And yeah, you guessed it, my mom picked the spot. But hey, I'm not complaining. Hi, I'm Ellie, and I've got an unbelievable story for you, with mystery, suspense, and backstabbing betrayal. But before I continue, please like and subscribe. I'm an only child and I live with my mom, who is an amazing pizza chef. She has her own cookbook and a popular YouTube channel. And when I was 6, she started a pizzeria with her best friend. The two were inseparable. And Mom's friend also had a daughter my age named Gia. Gia and I couldn't be more opposite. I was shy and quiet, and she was weird and loud. But she was my ride or die friend. One time when I was in 3rd grade, I spilled chocolate ice cream on my shirt. And this mean boy in the neighborhood called me Poop Girl. The boy couldn't stop laughing.
I'm angry now!
Then Gia whistled, and a small stray bird appeared out of nowhere.
Attack, Fluffy! Attack!
The bird chased the mean boy down the street, and he never messed with me again. Gia was always there, right beside me, for better or for worse. But sometimes she could be a bit much. Since we were little, Gia was different. While I played with Barbies, she played with bugs. which totally creeped everyone out. On our first day of middle school, I wanted to make a good impression, so I spent hours getting ready. But on our ride there, Gia pulled out a huge jar of cockroaches.
Look, Ellie, my little babies are so excited. I think they'll love math class.
Maybe you should leave your bugs at home.
No way. What are they supposed to do? Crawl around in the mud all day?
Isn't that what stupid bugs do?
Don't be rude. Apologize to my babies now.
And just as I expected, all the kids thought Gia was a freak, and our first day was a total disaster.
You! Gross! She has a cockroach on her shoulder.
Actually, I have 10. Wanna see?
Gia, don't!
But of course, Gia didn't listen. She pulled her jar of bugs out of her backpack. I tried to snatch it from her, but it slipped out of my hand and shattered on the floor. Kids started screaming. The bugs scattered everywhere. One jumped on my nose. A few got caught in the cheerleader's hair, and the big one crawled down her math teacher's pants. Gia and I were sent straight to the principal's office and suspended for a week. All the cool kids avoided us after that. As we got older and reached high school, things didn't change much. The bugs stopped making public appearances, but Gia was still odd. She spent most of her time in the science lab working on secret projects, which I thought was cool, but frankly didn't help her social life.
Sniff this, Ellie.
Yuck, it smells like feet.
But how does it make you feel? Do you want to climb a mountain or run a marathon?
No, I want you to get out of my face.
Guess it needs work.
Gia always spoke her mind, and sometimes it was so cringe she had no filter. Like this one time, I went shopping with Rachel and her squad, the ultimate popular girls at our school, and I was getting along with them great. But then Gia appeared, just as Rachel had tried on this pink dress and was modeling it for us.
Isn't this per for the homecoming dance? I look stunning.
Not to be a buzzkill, but you kind of resemble Peppa Pig. Oink! Oink!
Seriously, Gia.
I was just being honest. Is it just me? Or does anyone else suddenly have a taste for bacon?
Ellie, we have to go. Your weir is freaking us out.
Rachel and her friends couldn't leave fast enough.
What's wrong with you? Why did you say that?
Forget about Rachel. She's lame and her perfume stinks. Come on, let's go down to the pizzeria and say hi to our moms.
As much as Gia drove me nuts, I couldn't stay mad at her. She made me laugh, helped me with all my homework. And when our moms were busy working late, Gia always came over to keep me company. She was like an annoying sister. The first day after the shopping disaster, my first period teacher had an announcement.
Class, we have a new student. This is Billy Fitz. He just transferred here. Make him feel welcomed.
He took the empty desk next to mine.
Hi, I'm Ellie. If you need to know where your next class is or anything at all, just ask.
Thanks, Ellie. I'll be sure to.
I did end up showing Billy where his next class was, and we hit it off after school. We had lunch at Mom's Pizzeria and talked for hours. He was super interested in everything about the school and my life. I felt so special with all the attention he was giving me. I told him all about myself, my mom, the pizzeria, and of course, about Gia.
I know this is really fast, but I saw the posters for the dance this weekend. Do you want to go with me?
Would I?
I was low, key freaking out, but I kept it chill.
Well, I was going to go with a group of friends, but I guess I can change my plans.
Billy picked me up for the dance. In this fancy car that probably cost more than my house. He was dressed like $1 million. Then he gave me a corsage and the really expensive diamond necklace. I was so shocked. I was speechless.
Sorry. Is the necklace too much? You don't have to wear it if you don't want to. It's just that when I saw it, I thought of you.
Hey guys, you think you can give me a ride to the dance? My bike's busted. I lost my bus pass. In my date, the love of my life just broke up with me.
Gia pretended to cry, and my blood boiled. Gia didn't even have a boyfriend. Just as I was about to snap, Billy said the sweetest thing.
Forget about him, Gia. I don't know you, but if you're anything like Ellie, then you must be extra special, and you deserve much better than that jerk. Of course you can ride with us.
Aside from Gia being a third wheel, the dance was pretty awesome. Billy was a dancing superstar. After that, Billy and I hung out all the time. We'd stroll in the park, go out for dinner, you know, cute couple stuff. He was the perfect boyfriend, and his father was so nice. They even came to eat at the pizzeria. Billy's dad took one bite of my mom's pizza, and he was so impressed that he wanted to invest in the business.
I tell you, this place really has potential, and I think I can make it a huge success. We can take this pizzeria worldwide. By the time we're finished, you'll be millionaires.
Millionaires? No way. You're joking?
I'd never joke about a thing like that.
Then Billy's dad dropped a wad of cash on the table, then left his business card.
Call me in the morning and we can talk business.
After Billy and his dad left me, Gia and our moms were so excited, we danced around the store like maniacs. That night, I dreamed about being a millionaire and traveling to tropical islands with Billy on my yacht. The next few weeks were a blur. Billy's dad brought in these fancy accountants and lawyers to help my mom and Gia's mom with their business plan. I even started helping out at the pizzeria after school so I could do my part. Gia, on the other hand, was named president of the science club, so she wasn't around much. To be honest, it was nice getting a break from all her silly antics. With working after school and all my homework, I didn't get to see much of Billy either. He sent me sweet texts all the time, but I missed hanging out with him. And one day, I was passing by the science lab, and I heard Billy laughing. I went inside and found him sitting with Gia. They were doing some kind of experiment with this green goo that exploded everywhere. They were laughing uncontrollably and having the greatest time.
Hey guys, what's up?
Hey Elle, why didn't you tell me that Gia was so awesome?
Billy went on and on about Gia's stupid science experiment. I barely understood a word he said. I sat down and tried to help, but they totally ignored me. I felt like an idiot, and seeing them together made me jealous. I stormed off, and they didn't even notice that I'd left. A few days later, things got even worse. I texted Billy to see if he wanted to come over and watch films, but he said he was too busy to hang out tonight.
Sorry, babe. I've got a ton of homework and I'm really tired. Maybe we can hang out next week.
I told Billy that I understood and wished him a good night. It was nice out, so I decided to take a walk and get a chocolate sundae at my favorite ice cream shop. But I still stopped short in shock. When I looked through the window, Gia and Billy were sitting in a booth, sharing a banana split and laughing like a pair of hyenas. Hot rage coursed through my veins as I marched toward the door. But just as I was about to open it, I got a call from my mom. She was with Gia's mom at the pizzeria, and she was in tears.
Mom, what's wrong?
Before she could answer, the phone disconnected. I raced to the pizzeria, and what I saw next blew my mind. The sign on the pizzeria had changed to Fish Fits Pizza, and these huge, scary men were shoving all our things into a huge trash compactor. Gia's mom was trying to make the men stop, while my mom sat on the curb crying like a baby.
What happened here?
We lost our business. Billy's dad took everything.
How could this happen?
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. We can't even afford to hire a lawyer to fight back. All our bank accounts are empty. We're ruined. Our lives are over.
The police showed up and arrested Gia's mom for punching one of the men in the face.
Get your hands off me. This isn't fair. It's not right.
Then Mom fainted. I called an ambulance to take her to the hospital. The doctor said she'd be okay, but they had to keep her a few days for observation. I was devastated. I couldn't believe that Billy's dad was behind this. I called and texted Billy. There had to be some explanation. But Billy didn't answer. I even went to his house, but no one was home. Mom was right. We were ruined. I was so exhausted that I went home to get some sleep. But guess who I found waiting for me on my front porch? That Batman backstabbing witch, Gia. That rage that coursed through my veins before, well, now it was 20 times stronger. I raced toward Gia like an angry bull.
You evil witch!
Ellie, you have to calm down. There's something I need to show you. It's about Billy.
I've already seen enough. I knew you were weird, but I never thought you were evil. I saw you with him at the ice cream shop.
Oh, that! It was all part of my plan.
What plan?
To save the pizzeria.
Gia led me to her house and into the basement.
Take a look. I got a toad.
He had green slime all over his face, and he smelled like a gym sock.
Gia, what the heck?
Listen up. I'm sorry for hurting your feelings with Billy, but you need to know why I did it. When Billy started hanging out with you, I started following you two, and then him.
You did what?
Shut up and listen. Billy's dad is in the mafia and needed a front to hide his shady deals and launder his dirty money. That's where our moms and the pizzeria comes in. He thought snagging the business was the way to go, and the whole thing was totally Billy's idea.
That's why Billy was hanging out with me. I feel so stupid.
Don't, Ellie. Smooth talking runs in that family. Billy's dad tricked our moms into signing over their business. Too bad for Billy and his dad that I'm not so easily played. I recorded them talking about their scheme for weeks, and I even convinced Billy to confess.
How did you get him to spill?
First, I poured my truth serum all over his head, but that didn't work. It just stunk up the place. I really should open a window, huh?
Gia, stay focused.
Oh, yeah. So, since the serum was a dud, I asked my friends for a little help. You should have seen Mr. Tough Guy crumble.
Gia sent Billy's taped confession and the rest of the evidence she found to the police. Billy and his dad had been scheming small businesses for years, but no one could ever prove it. Until now. The police arrested Billy and his dad. The movers dropped the charges on Gia's mom. Our moms got the pizzeria and all their money back. And things went back to normal? Well, kind of. After the news got out that Gia and I took down a mob boss, our popularity at school went through the roof, and the pizzeria became busier than ever. My friendship with Gia grew as strong as an ox, and eventually I didn't mind her 8-legged friends. But one thing was clear, with Gia around, my life would always be an adventure. And that was fine with me.
Hey friends, I'm Ella from New York. Please like and subscribe. I'm an only child, and my parents loved me so much and cared a lot about my musical talent, which they noticed when I was only 6. I played the piano, wrote songs, and sang too.
She's going to be a famous star one day. She sounds like an angel.
Believe me when I tell you I love music. I spend all my time singing and playing or listening to music. When I was 10, I even wrote my first song. Sadly, everything changed when I turned 13 and Mom and Dad divorced. Mom left us and we were devastated. But after 2 years, my dad met someone new. I didn't like the idea at first, but I didn't say anything because I wanted to see him happy again. One day he told me that he had invited this woman and her 2 daughters. It's over for dinner.
You're going to like the girls, I promise. They're so nice and they're your age as well. You can finally have the sisters you always wanted.
When they finally came over, my soon-to-be stepmom Lindsay and her 2 daughters, Anna and Joanna, pretended to be nice to me, but I don't know why I felt like they were lying the whole time.
Oh my, look at you. Aren't you a dear?
I feel like we'll be best friends.
I like your hair so much. Can I see your room?
My dad and Lindsay got married after a short time, and she and her daughters moved in with us.
Our house is bigger than theirs, so we'll all fit in nicely together here. Anna and Joanna will keep you company all the time. Isn't this amazing?
Yeah, Dad, it is. I'm so excited. I really didn't like the idea because there was just something weird about them, but I didn't have the heart to say that to my dad. Not long after the wedding, my father came home one day looking extremely happy.
Girls, guess what? I got promoted.
Really, congrats. How much will they pay you?
I don't know yet, but I'll have to travel every now and again. It's a very important position.
But Dad, I don't like having you away for long.
Don't be silly. He'll make a lot of money. He has to take the job.
When are you going to travel? What will you bring for me?
I need a new phone, please.
What about me? I want a new laptop. Mine is old.
Baby, I've always wanted a diamond ring. The golden one is not so nice. Can you please get me one?
What about you, Ella? What do you want me to get you?
Nothing, Dad. Just don't stay away for too long. See, this is the sad part. I discovered that Lindsay had married my dad for his money, and she literally cared for nothing else. When Dad started to travel a lot, Lindsay, Anna, and Joanna showed their true colors. They were terrible. They treated me horribly. They were only nice to me when he was around.
Just stop playing the stupid piano you're playing. Sounds like nails on a chalkboard. You think you're a musician? Such a loser.
Yeah, stop it. Will you? You're giving me a headache.
Just like that, Lindsay didn't let me play the piano anymore. She didn't let me do anything, basically. Wait a minute, is that my shirt you're wearing?
It was your shirt. I liked it, so I took it. Do you have a problem?
Anna, why is your stuff in my room?
I'm bored with my room and it's very small. I want yours. It's bigger and nicer. Get the rest of your stuff out of my new room now.
That was the last straw. I couldn't take it anymore. I planned to tell my dad everything when he got back.
Oh my god, I never did that. You told me you wanted us to exchange rooms. I'm really hurt.
Didn't you give me this shirt because you took my orange one? I didn't take anything from you.
Oh my, I didn't let her play the piano. Why would I ever do that? If anything, I encouraged her to practice more.
What? What are you saying? I'm not lying.
Ella, I am very disappointed in you. I never thought you would lie to me. Lindsay and the girls are trying to be a family to you and you're telling lies about them. I never want to hear anything like that ever again.
I mean the audacity. 2 years passed like this before everything changed when I learned tragic news. Apparently, the company Dad was working for was a fraud and he was in jail miles away. And if things were bad in the beginning, they got even worse. Lindsay and her daughters made my life terrible, and I didn't know what to do. Music was the only thing that helped me. When I saved enough money, I bought a secondhand microphone and downloaded an app that would let me play different kinds of instruments on it. I kept writing songs and music and recording them on my laptop and listening to them because I couldn't live without music. Wait a second, why don't I upload one of my songs online? Of course, I can't use my real name or picture because God knows what would happen if Lindsay or one of her daughters found out. But the idea isn't so terrible, is it? It's better than being this far away from music. After only 2 days, it had 100,000 views in the comments section. I could see that people loved the lyrics and the music despite the low quality of the video. So I started to post more and more songs. Soon everyone at school was talking about my songs that make me happy and sad at the same time because I couldn't tell them that it was me.
Have you listened to this new song by this mystery girl? Let me tell you, it's amazing.
Not yet, but I have to check it out now. I adore her songs.
If only we could know who she really is.
I literally know all her songs by heart.
But things didn't stay good for long for me. Joanna recognized my voice and playing somehow and told Lindsay,
What do you think you're doing? Playing smart and thinking I won't know?
I don't understand how someone like you got this number of views and likes.
She won't anymore. Give me this laptop now. I'm going to delete those stupid videos. If you do one more thing like this, you won't like what happened.
Please don't. Please.
Wait a minute, Mom. What if we could use her fame? We can make a lot of money if we let her write and record those silly songs of hers. And I'll pretend that I'm the one who's actually making them. The camera loves my face anyways.
What? You want to steal my music? Are you crazy?
That's a brilliant idea, darling. And you, Ella, have no say in this at all. You either do what we say, or you can say goodbye to your dad forever. I'll make sure he can't get out of that jail and stays there forever. I won't hire a lawyer or anything to save his butt. Got it.
This family was crazy. They were heartless. Lindsay bought better equipment and forced me to use it to record my music and songs. Joanna would shoot videos of herself pretending to sing and play the piano. But it was actually my voice, my music, and my lyrics. The number of views and likes on the video was crazy. She was becoming the new social media sensation, and she was making an insane amount of money. At school, everyone wanted to be your friend because she was the popular girl now.
Joanna, please come to my party this weekend. It would be a blast having you there.
Sign my shirt, Joanna. Please, please, please.
Can I get a selfie with you? Please say yes.
Meanwhile, I wasn't allowed to go anywhere other than school. It felt like I was in prison. Lindsay, Anna, and Joanna were watching me all the time because they were worried I'd reveal their secret. But I didn't, because I was afraid they'd leave Dad in jail forever. But things changed once more one afternoon.
Ella, you better listen to what I'm going to tell you carefully. There is a huge musical competition that's happening soon. And if I mean you created the best song, Dart, I can win a record deal with an important record label.
And how are you planning on recording an album exactly? Are you planning on dragging me behind you to the studio, letting everybody they know your truth?
That's none of your business. My mom will think of something. Start working on that song now.
I had no choice but to write a song on the required theme and record it.
Now I need to shoot a video for this song, but it needs to be perfect because I have to win this competition.
Guess what happened then? She won. She and Lindsay were over the moon, quite literally.
Mom, I just got a call from the record label. They want you and me to go tomorrow in the contract for the album.
That's perfect, honey. You'll be a star. Hey, Ella, you're coming with us tomorrow.
What? Me? Why would you want me to go with you?
What if they asked us some stupid question about music and singing? You'll be there to help Joanna answer. Understood?
Wasn't it enough that they were stealing my music and money? They also wanted me to watch them doing it. When we got there, Liam, the CEO himself, welcomed us.
Welcome to our company. It's been a pleasure meeting such a young and promising talent as you, Joanna. For how? How long have you been playing the piano and singing?
Since she was 10. She's the most unique kid ever.
That's nice. And have you had any teachers?
Well, I don't.
Oh no, she taught herself all that she knows about music. Isn't she amazing?
Sure. And you are?
Oh, that's Ella, my stepdaughter. She's one of our family, and we love her dearly, just like she loves us. Right, darling?
What? Yeah, sure.
Nice to meet you, Ella. I feel like you're surprised I'm the CEO because I'm young. I hear that a lot, but the truth is, this company belongs to my dad, and he only trusts me to run things around here.
I was sitting there silently, not saying much. This Liam was very nice, and to me especially, he kept trying to include me in the conversation, but Lindsay didn't like it.
Ella, dear, be a dear and bring me my shawl from the car, could you? I'm cold.
Sure. I understood that she wanted me out of the room because she wanted his full attention to be on Joanna. So I left the room and started walking aimlessly around the corridors of the company. Wow, look how many musical instruments are in this room. What is that, a huge piano? It wouldn't hurt if I played it for a minute, will it? I hadn't played a real piano for years because Lindsay sold mine. I missed this so much. I closed my eyes and started to play and sing my heart out. I didn't even feel the time passing. I didn't even feel Liam standing behind me by the door.
What's that? How's that possible? How is this your voice and not Joanna's? I don't understand.
Please just forget what you saw and heard.
Wait here.
After a couple of minutes, he came back with Lindsay and Joanna, who looked really scared when she saw me near a piano.
Why don't you play us that song that won you the competition before we sign the deal? It's only fair that I hear you play live.
What? Mom. Let's leave that to another day. I'm afraid Joanna's not ready today. She's recovering from a bad cold.
I insist it's actually part of the contract's conditions.
Believe me when I say at that moment, I wouldn't want to be Joanna for anything in the world. She sat at the piano, tried to stroke the keys, but of course she couldn't play. She tried to sing in a low voice, but it was very clear that her voice wasn't even good. She was about to cry.
Ella, why don't you give it a try?
I was terrified for a second, but I told myself, come on, have some courage. Liam knows the truth now. I played and sang the song perfectly.
Ella, we would be honored to sign a deal with you.
What? What do you mean with her? It's my daughter who won the competition, not this girl.
Your daughter can't sing, ma'am. I know the truth now, so no need for more lies. What do you say, Ella?
Sure, I'd be crazy to say no. Let me tell you that the album I made with Liam was a hit. I had enough money to hire a lawyer and fight Dad's case, all with the help of Liam, and he was finally home.
Please, Ella, you know we love you, honey. Please don't throw us out, please. I am so sorry.
We're really sorry. Ella, you can have your room back.
It was just a misunderstanding, please.
It's too late now. The whole world knows the truth. Now, please leave because I have to prepare for my first live concert. The concert was amazing. Thousands of people came. I was living the dream. Liam was even waiting for me backstage with a bouquet of flowers. Oh, thank you so much. I love them. You're the best, you know. You saved me from my evil stepmother. Exactly like a fairy tale.
And because I did that, don't I deserve a date just to be authentic to the story?
You do. Let's go get some ice cream.
And a kiss.
Yeah, and a kiss. And that's how I wrapped up my story. I got rid of the evil stepmother and her daughters. I became a superstar. I got the Prince Charming, and I have the happily ever after that everyone wishes for.
Hi, I'm Zelda from Washington, D.C. Before we start the story, to like and subscribe. My brother Ryan has always been there for me. When I was clumsy and dropped my ice cream, he got me a new one. When I fell, he picked me up. And when I watched a scary movie, he covered my eyes. And when he had to go somewhere and leave me alone. I want Ryan! On my birthdays, he always gave me the best presents. One time, he even paid the zoo to let me meet the giraffes and elephants. Mom told me he worked all summer to afford it, since he was so cool, brave, and awesome. You'd think he'd want to be an astronaut when he grew up, or a lion tamer, or a dinosaur catcher. It's a thing, look it up, but no. Because her mom had to support us both by herself, ever since he was little. His dream was to buy her a house one day, and be rich enough that she wouldn't have to work anymore. That, and take me on a grand adventure, which was my dream. Yeah, my brother's better than yours. Deal with it. Ryan got a super cool Mustang. He would always pick me up after school. And of course, all the girls swooned, and every single one of the boys was jealous of him. I was the most popular girl in school, without even trying.
What kind of music does he like? How can he afford such a cool car? Is he rich?
Does he have a girlfriend?
Take it easy, girls. I'll tell you everything you want to know. My brother works for NASA. He's an engineer. He's saving up to buy my mom a house. No girlfriend. If he had one, I would be the first to know. And as for music, he and I listen to the same kind synth. The girls are always asking questions about you. They're all in love.
What do you tell them?
Just the usual. It's not like you're a mystery or anything.
They don't need to know my business next. Time anyone asks, tell them you don't know.
What? Why?
Look, NASA is secretive. I can't tell everyone about what I do there. The government doesn't want anyone to know. I wish I could tell you more, but I can't. Actually, we really can't talk about it at all. I've already told you too much. Just be cool about it, okay?
What? No, I want to know everything. Tell me immediately.
Maybe someday I'll be able to explain. But for now, keep everything I said between us.
Ryan, that's not fair.
Life's not fair. Here we are. Go on. I have to go back to work. I'll see you on your birthday.
My birthday's next week. I have school tomorrow. You have to pick me up.
Oh, right.
Ryan, I'm worried. You're acting weird.
Don't worry. Little Z, I can handle myself.
He dropped me off and drove away like he always did. Except this time, something felt different.
Government jobs are very hush-hush. I'm sure he's perfectly safe. Please respect his wishes and just leave him alone. Okay, honey?
He forgot my birthday. He never forgets my birthday.
He's been a little distracted lately. Just a little dressed, but he's okay. I promise.
But I knew Ryan more than anyone, and he seemed worried. The next day, I waited outside our house for him to pick me up like he always did. But this time, he didn't show up.
OMG, what happened? Didn't your brother pick you up?
No, and he didn't call either. Something's wrong. I texted him all day, but there was no response. After school, with all the girls waiting to see him like they always did, I stood at the curb looking right-left, waiting, calling. And yeah, you guessed it, he didn't show up. My brother, who had been there for me since the day I was born, was now missing. Mom, I can't find Ryan anywhere. He won't answer his phone, and he didn't pick me up today.
Oh, honey, I'm sorry. I forgot to tell you he texted last night and said his phone's dying. He'll be getting a new one soon, but he won't be able to reach us for a few days.
Why didn't he tell me he was acting strange yesterday in the car? Something is going on with him. What if they heard us?
Who?
The government. What if they listened to our conversation? And now?
Honey, you're just so used to him being around, and now you're extra worried. This is probably the longest he's been away from you since he graduated college, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but it's strange that he didn't text me when he texted you. And why didn't he pick me up?
Maybe he had car trouble and couldn't call you? Don't worry, your brother can take care of himself. He always has.
Why wasn't Mom more worried? Everything felt wrong? Was I just being paranoid? She left in a hurry to go to work, and I was alone with my thoughts. Everything Mom said was true. But then again, he really was acting weird yesterday. And just because Mom got a text from his phone doesn't mean it was really him. I had to be sure. I rushed to the bus stop and went to the only place I knew I could get some answers. NASA. I would say he was an engineer, just like he told us. So they wouldn't suspect I knew anything more, which I guess I didn't really. I couldn't believe the giant space shuttle and huge NASA logo out front. This place was intense. At the front desk, I asked if I could speak to my brother.
What's his name, darling?
I told her and waited while she was on the phone, while she talked to the person on the other line. She looked at me as if there was something she didn't want me to know.
Sorry, sweetie, no one here has that name.
That's when I saw two men in black suits and sunglasses at the end of the hall looking at me. Or were they looking at me? Maybe they were just waiting for someone. I didn't want to find out, so I hurried out of there. I had no idea what was going on. It didn't make sense unless they really didn't want anyone to know where he worked because he was part of some top-secret mission. Without any other choice, I decided there was only one more place I could go to try to find him and find some answers. His apartment. I had only been there one time when I was about to move in a year ago, but I had written down the address. The building was super tall and fancy. I ran to the door and pressed the number to his unit when an old woman answered. I asked if my brother lived there, thinking maybe she was the maid.
No, he doesn't live here. Sorry.
My head was spinning. What the heck was going on? I saw my brother almost every day since we were little. I knew him, didn't I? A black SUV parked right behind me on the curb. I couldn't see through the tinted windows. I ran. Just then, I got a text from Ryan. All it said was an address that I didn't recognize. I tried to call, but there was no answer. What if it wasn't really him? I could be walking right into a trap. I got on the bus and headed that way. I couldn't go to the police yet. I had nothing to report. But what if I was going into a trap? But he was my brother, my protector. I had to try whatever it was I was heading into. I had to be brave. The sun went down. The street of the address was dark. My mom would never let me come here alone. Then I found it. A broken down old motel. I climbed the steps and knocked on the door, my hands shaking. It opened, and I saw a beautiful young woman standing in front of me.
Zelda?
Who are you?
I'm May, your brother's girlfriend. Come in.
I walked into the small room and saw Ryan sitting there, his head down like he was crying. I ran and hugged him. I'm so glad you're okay. I've been looking everywhere for you. What's going on? I went to your work, to your house.
I lied, Z. I don't work for NASA, and I don't live in that nice apartment building. I've been living here. When I showed it to you, I was a real estate agent, but I was terrible, and I got fired. Now I work at a rental car place. The Mustang is theirs. My boss caught me using it last night and fired me.
But why did you lie? I thought we were best friends.
We are. I was ashamed. You always thought I was so cool you looked up to me. I said I would buy Mom a house, and I can't even afford to pay my own rent. She has to help me. I wanted to still be that big brother for you. The one you looked up to.
You are my big brother. Of course I still look up to you. You're my whole world. I don't care what you do for work.
See, Ryan, Zelda, I told him you'd say that he didn't want us to meet because he didn't want me to lie to you. But I'm glad you're here now, and I'm so sorry. But Zelda, we need your help.
No, we can't ask her to do that. She could get caught. She could go to jail.
That's when they told me what Ryan had done. I was in total shock. My brother was so angry at his boss when he was fired that before he left, he snuck into the office and stole money from the safe. You did what?
I know it was stupid. It was a mistake. The security guard is there now. He knows me.
When they open tomorrow, they'll see the money's gone and your brother will be on the video. We only have until 7 a.m. Before
I go to jail and my life is ruined.
My heart was pounding my hands, sweating. I couldn't believe this was happening. I know he said he was angry, but this? I don't understand. That's not you. Why did you do it?
I wanted to pay back Mom for all the money she let me borrow. I'll go. I'll put it back.
No. Zelda, if the security guard ever sees him, he'll be caught. If he sees you, he won't know who you are. You can run.
But this is my mistake. I'll face the consequences myself.
I wouldn't help you steal money, but we're not stealing it, we're putting it back. So I'll help you because you've always helped me. Yes, I knew it was dangerous. I knew I could get into serious trouble. But all he wanted to do now was make things right. He drew a map of the office and explained to me exactly how to get in and out. The problem, of course, was the guard, and the fact that he had been caught on tape, which meant I would have to delete it. I had no idea how, but he wrote it all down, along with a combination to the safe on a piece of paper. Why not just send it to my phone?
You can't take your phone. If they suspect you, they could. Use it to see that you were here. I'll call Mom and tell her you're sleeping here.
So, my mom knew he'd been lying. That's why she wasn't worried.
Here, the money is in this purse. Just pretend it's yours and take my hoodie to cover your head.
I left the apartment, following the directions he gave, until finally I was outside, inside the office. The guard was outside the gate. There was no way around him. My first thought was to cause a distraction, but there was nothing anywhere. So I just walked right up to him. Sir, please, can you help me?
What are you doing out here at night, miss?
I forgot my phone in the car I rented. Everything I have is in there.
Can it wait till tomorrow? I'm not supposed to let anyone.
I can't. He took pity on me and let me in. He asked which car, and I pointed to a random one, getting ready to cry again when he didn't find it. And that's exactly what happened. Can I use the bathroom? In the stall. I checked the paper Ryan gave me. I had to climb into the vent to get to the office. I knew the guard would get suspicious, but there was nothing else I could do. I just had to hope he was too uncomfortable to go into the women's room. Before I put the money back, I wanted to make sure the video of my brother was deleted. So I went to the computer. There was a password, but Ryan had written it down on the where was it? It was gone. The door flew open, and the security guard aimed his flashlight at me.
Come with me, young miss.
I failed. There was nothing I could do now. He let me out, and at the gate, I saw the black SUV, and from inside, a man in a dark suit and sunglasses was waiting for me. What was happening? When I got close, the man smiled and took his sunglasses off. It was Ryan.
Happy birthday, little Za. How'd you like your adventure?
But my birthday...
Is next week? I know. Then it wouldn't be a surprise, would it?
I'm pretty sure this would still be a surprise. Ryan told me. He did work at NASA, and he owned the car rental place because 6 months ago he invented something for the government, and now he was a billionaire. What about May?
She's my friend from work. If I was dating someone, you'd be the first to know. Why do you think she likes me?
But your apartment...
I moved out 2 months ago because I bought a house.
Wow, you got your own house?
No, that one's yours and Mom's mine is that one.
Mom came out from inside, smiling and waving.
Thanks for trying to save me, little sis, my protector.
I was happy. He really was the best brother ever, except for one thing. You made me walk to school in the rain.
Hi, I'm Alva from Sweden, and I have an incredibly rare genetic mutation that causes my aging process to be much slower than normal. Like when I was 6 years old, I looked like a dumb 2-year-old toddler, which made people treat me like one, and things got even worse as a teenager. But to hear the rest of my story, please like and subscribe. Because of my condition, my parents decided to homeschool me till I was a bit older. I only got to hang out with other kids at the playground, and I'd get picked on all the time because I looked so much smaller than everybody.
Welcome, dwarfs. To her, we're giants.
Even once, when I was about 8 years old, I was playing on the slides in the park when a worried-looking woman came running over to me.
Sweetie, are you lost?
No?
Oh, poor baby, probably can't understand a thing. You must be so scared.
Do I look scared? And I'm not a baby. But she wasn't even listening to me. She just pulled out her phone and called the police.
We have a missing child here, officer. Please help her find her mommy and daddy.
Despite my protests, the policeman still lifted me into a stroller, took me to the station, and started taking pictures of me for missing child posters.
Oh my god, I know my parents' number and address!
I live right across the street from the playground, and you guys kidnapped me! That was just one of the countless times my parents had to go to the police station to explain and bring me home. It only temporarily stopped when I joined school in the 7th grade. The minute I walked into the classroom, a girl elbowed me roughly and said,
"Oh, little one, who are you looking for? Or are you lost?"
"Oh, if only I had $1 for every time I heard that, I would be a millionaire by now, and I wouldn't need to be in the school with dumb people like you." And with that, I pushed her aside and took my seat. When I did all the math problems correctly in the first lesson, the teacher called me over looking all starstruck.
Wow, Alva, you're a genius!
Thanks, but why?
Because you solved these algebra problems meant for 12-year-olds.
But I am 12 years old! The teacher just giggled. And then did something I hate. She grabbed my hoodie and lifted me like I was a little kid.
Oh, aren't you a little cutie pie? Yes, you definitely have the mind of a 12-year-old.
No matter how many times I said it, no one believed that I was actually 12. They'd rather believe I was some kind of baby genius who'd been bumped up a few grades. After trying really hard, finally, I gave in and let everyone believe I was super smart. Even so, this didn't really help me become popular or make friends, though. Jessica, the meanest girl in class, wasn't too happy because everyone thought I was the smartest, and she made sure everyone constantly made fun of me.
Oh, my butt looks so huge. Are you wearing a diaper? What kind of language is that book in? Goo goo gaga? Is anyone volunteering to lift Alva up to the toilet?
Another time I was eating lunch by myself when Jessica suddenly stopped by my table.
Oh, how is the baby going to eat all that with her little baby teeth?
Why are you this way, Jessica? What do you mean? I mean, why are you so awful to me? You're the most popular girl in class.
Yeah, I know. But before you showed up out of nowhere, I was the smartest too.
Fine, you're the prettiest and the smartest girl in the world. Can you leave me alone now, please?
Sure, but let me mash everything for the little baby to eat first.
And with that, she started pounding my food with her fist. OMG, you are such a psycho! I picked up the smushed piece of cake and flung it at her face. She picked up my glass of juice and dunked it on my head. My battle with the big bully happened. And before we knew it, everybody joined in for fun and a full-scale food fight had broken out. We both got detention, and after that day I found a corner in the little playpen for the kindergarten kids and basically had lunch there by myself for the next 3 years. Until one day, Isak came and sat next to me. Isak had just joined our class a few weeks ago and he was a total babe. With all the popular girls drooling all over him, I was sure he wouldn't notice someone like me, which is why I was pretty shocked to find him here.
Why do you always have lunch alone?
Is this your first time in high school? Of course, I don't expect someone like you to get it. He took my hand and looked deep into my eyes.
I don't understand why there's such an adorable girl in this high school.
I was so annoyed at how fast that made my heart beat. After that, Isak and I became really good friends. He'd always sit with me to watch his football games and started coming over to my place for study dates. Since he joined so late, he needed to do a lot of catching up and I was more than happy to help. I hated to admit it, I just had the biggest crush on him. The annual spring dance was around the corner and it was all anyone could talk about at school. All the girls were yapping nonstop about their dresses and who they'd be going with. Of course, I was hoping Isak would ask me out, but when he didn't, I decided I didn't need to wait around like a sappy Disney princess. I'd ask him out myself. I bought tickets for the opening show of the new Avengers movie. Just as we were about to enter the theater, one of the cinema staff stopped me.
Hey, little girl, you can't go in. That's a PG-13 movie.
I'm almost 16 here! Look at my ID!
We see fake IDs all the time, kid. Sorry, but I can't let you go.
And with that, he pushed me out of line and refused to listen to me anymore. I can't believe this. Let's go then.
Go. I mean, what's the point of wasting both the tickets? We'll still have dinner together, okay?
And just like that, he turned and went inside. I was furious, as I couldn't even go anywhere because he'd driven me here. When he finally came out after 3 hours, he was practically jumping with excitement.
OMG, that was epic! Deadpool is way funnier and cooler than I imagined!
He'd not only watched the movie without me, he'd ruined it for me completely. I thought maybe the rest of the evening would go a little better, but boy was I wrong. At the end of the meal, when the waitress brought us our fortune cookies, they looked over excitedly at Isak to open his and read the little note inside.
Will you be my date for the spring dance, Isak?
He looked up at me in complete shock.
Alva, I don't know how to say this, but no. How could you even think that? You're more like a little sister to me. I've already asked Jessica out. Man, you've really made things awkward.
I felt so utterly crushed and stupid I flung a glass of water in his face. I wish I could become Wolverine to leave 3 scars on your mouth. And with that, I ran out of there and took the bus home. Nobody was more grateful than me when stupid high school ended and I was off to college. It wasn't too far from my town, so my parents could visit me often or come bail me out every time an officer thought I was an underage driver. Gosh, this is the 3rd time this month. Why are you police officers so dumb? Can't you see I have a real license?
She doesn't mean that, officer. Come on, sweetie. Let's go!
My parents always had my back, but no one understood how frustrating it was for me to be treated like a kid all the time until I met Andrew. In my 2nd year at university, I took up a job as a professor's assistant for one of the courses. I knew the other students made fun of me behind my back, but one day they went really overboard. The professor was unexpectedly detained and I was taking the class in his place. As soon as I turned my back to the board, I got hit by a dozen paper balls. I turned around to see everyone snickering. I'm your teacher! Didn't your parents teach you any respect?
You're not our teacher! You can't even reach the top of the board without standing on a stool. Go back to school, loser!
You can't behave this way with me! I want everyone who's responsible to apologize right now!
Or you'll do what? Go crying to your mommy?
I'll fail you in every single assignment. You do remember I grade them, right?
Oh no! I'm scared, Miss Alva. Will you forgive me if I give you a lollipop?
That's it! Get out!
Happy to! Come on, guys, let's go! We don't need to take orders from some high school smarty pants!
And just like that, the whole class walked out. I tried to keep my cool, but when everyone had left, I burst into angry tears. Just then, I felt a gentle tap on the shoulder, and I looked up to see that it was Andrew, one of the students.
I'm really sorry about the way they treated you. I think you're really smart and beautiful.
We became friends and soon after we started dating. He was just the sweetest guy, and even though he looked much older than me, he was never ashamed to hold my hand in public even if it got us weird looks. A few weeks later, I had an internship interview in another city and Andrew offered to see me off at the airport. Just as I was leaving, he took my hand.
Good luck, babe. I hope you get it, but I'll really miss you.
And with that, he pulled me in for our first kiss. My head was still spinning with joy, and finally I saw a few policemen walking towards us.
Sir, please move away from the kid!
What's the problem, officer?
We've recently had many reports of a gang kidnapping young girls, and you need to come down to the station with us to answer a few questions.
Wait, what? He's not a kidnapper. He's my boyfriend, and I'm 20 years old. The policeman didn't listen to a word we said, and we were taken down to the station. My parents had to come down again with my birth certificate and baby pictures before they finally let us go. It turned out that the people at the airport had been making videos of the whole thing, and it had gone viral on social media with people saying all sorts of mean things about me and Andrew. And to make things worse, the company I had an interview with wasn't happy that I didn't show up, so I lost the internship too. I was beyond furious now. I took to social media myself and posted a video talking about how I'd always been discriminated against because of the way I looked. The video went viral, and I started receiving a lot of sympathy messages and support. The public pressure made the police issue an official apology, and the company even offered me the internship again. But my condition had really sparked an interest in the public, and I was being invited to tons of TV and online interviews. All everyone wanted to know was the secret of my youth. Soon enough, I realized that people envied me. One morning, I picked up the local newspaper from the door and was horrified to see my face splashed across the front page with the headline, "Girl Discovers Secret to Eternal Youth."
Babe, come here and look outside the window.
To my shock, there was a massive crowd of people outside our apartment building, and the minute they spotted me in the window, they started screaming.
Have you discovered the Fountain of Youth? Tell us where it is.
What do you eat to look so young? I'll pay anything for it.
With your anti-aging formula for youthful skin, we can become millionaires. Come work for our skincare company.
This was complete madness, and I had to put an end to it. I opened the window and everybody became quiet to hear what I had to say. Listen, there is no secret. It's a condition I've always had, and it's not a blessing. I've never had anyone take me seriously my whole life. I spent all of high school being bullied. My message to everyone is that we all need to learn to be happy in our own skins and accept everyone as they are. Thankfully, the message spread far and wide, and people didn't bother me again. But I still became pretty famous and was regularly called for talks on self-acceptance and against bullying. I'm married to Andrew now, and we have 2 young kids, and secretly I really don't mind at all when someone says I don't look like a mom.
Please, please leave me alone. Mom ran down the dark corridor looking for a place to hide, turning every doorknob that she came to. Finally, a door gave way and she crouched in a corner, but it was too late.
Stay away from me. Stay away.
Hey, I'm Anastasia. My friends call me Anna, but my parents call me.
Stay away from me!
R, leave me alone!
Okay, I was being a little dramatic at the start of the video. Mom wasn't actually scared. This is how it really played out.
Mommy, can you read me a bedtime story?
Please leave me alone! Go ask your dad!
Daddy! Look, I was outside playing and stepped in dog poop. See?
No! Stay away from me.
My nanny looked after me, mostly because my parents were super busy with their careers, and she always called me Miss. So I thought my real name was Stay Away From Me. It wasn't until my first day of kindergarten that I found out I was wrong.
And what's your name, sweetie?
Stay away from me.
Excuse me, what did you just say?
Stay away from me.
Next thing I knew, my parents and I were sitting in the principal's office. Sure, I got into trouble, but at least my parents used my name more after that. And when I was 4, something amazing happened. My sister Isabella was born, and she was beautiful.
Oh, I have the most beautiful daughter anyone could ask for.
I was so bummed by what she said that I stuck my tongue out at her. But I got over it soon enough. I finally had someone to play with. Or so I thought. You see, Mom didn't want me near Isabella.
Shoo! Go away!
But one night, Isabella couldn't sleep and was screaming at the top of her lungs. I crawled into her crib and began to sing her lullabies. And then, soon enough, she was sleeping peacefully. I felt like the best big sister ever, but we never had a shot at getting close because of the way my parents treated us. They were less busy with work now and spent all their time fawning over Isabella and spoiling her while completely ignoring me.
You know what I see in the mirror? I see 2 beautiful girls with unlimited potential. Oh, Anna, how long have you been standing here?
I was here first, brushing my hair. You didn't even see me?
They'd whisk Isabella off to the mall or spa, and one time, they even took her to Paris while I was stuck with the neighbor and turned 9 cats. It bothered me a lot at first, but eventually, I just kinda got used to it. But my parents were slowly turning Isabella into a monster who bullied them and threw a fit anytime she didn't get her way. She would try to boss me around too, but I mostly wouldn't give in, which didn't sit too well with her. Like this one time when I was in 5th grade, I was eating spaghetti, and she turned to me with a weird look in her eyes.
Spaghetti and worms taste the same, don't you think?
What? My stomach churned when I looked on my plate, and sure enough, there were worms mixed with my spaghetti.
Ew!
When I told my parents, they told me it was a harmless prank. Every time Isabella did something to me, they would make excuses for her and brush it off. Even the time she cut my head out of all the family pictures.
She's too young to know what she's doing.
She's just having fun. Lighten up.
The weekend before middle school, I bought this super cute outfit for my first day, and I couldn't wait to put it on. But when I was getting ready, I couldn't find it anywhere. That is, until I entered the kitchen, and there sat Isabella in my outfit.
Isabella, that's mine!
It looks better on me. I look like a doll.
I rushed over to Isabella and tried to pull my outfit off of her when Mom dragged me away.
Anna, what are you doing to your little sister?
I want her to take off my clothes.
Oh, is that what you want? You should have said it nicely.
And then she took a pair of scissors and cut herself out of the dress.
Oh my God, you're such a psycho! Mom, aren't you gonna say anything?
Yes, if you knew how to share your things. You could both enjoy them. But now look at what you made your sister do.
I could pull my hair out. There was no winning against this brat when she had some magic spell cast on my parents. As I grew older, I just avoided my family as much as I could and faded into the background. I decided to focus on what I loved singing, and I became quite good at it. But I only realized exactly how good I was when I was 16, 2 months before high school started. I'd taken up a small gig at a cafe to sing occasionally, and when I was done, a stunning lady approached me.
Hi, I'm Gigi. You have a beautiful voice. I'd like to sign you up as a singer. What? You want me? Yes. I could make you a star.
It was an offer I couldn't refuse. I gave Gigi my address, and when she arrived at my house later that evening, my parents were quite surprised, and Issa looked so jealous.
But why would you want to sign her up?
Because she's talented.
But her looks?
Can be altered to look the part.
What do you mean, altered?
By the time my people are done with you, you won't even recognize yourself, kiddo.
The following week, I went to the studio with Gigi, and I felt like I was in a dream. And after rehearsals, Gigi's makeup artists took over, and she was right. I barely recognized myself. I looked amazing. When I got home, Mom looked shocked. Oh my god, Anna, you look stunning. My heart flipped with excitement. Did my mother just give me a compliment?
As stunning as a chicken in a jumpsuit.
Later that week, Mom took me shopping. In fact, over the next 2 weeks, Mom and I spent a lot of time together. We went to spas, dinners, and we even spent a day in Paris. I'd picked up a few things there for Isabella, but when I went to give it to her, she dumped everything on my head.
You think you're better than me because of this music gig? Your days are numbered! Witch!
Did my baby sister just threaten me? I was too busy to think too much about what Isabella said. I worked hard and released my first album, and by the time I started high school, I was already famous.
Oh my god, her skin is flawless.
She's such an amazing singer. I can carry your books around.
But life just had to give me lemons, and this lemon was Mandy, the meanest and richest girl in school. She transferred to our school the year before and was the most popular girl around. But clearly, I dethroned her now because I had way more fans and social media followers than her, and she just couldn't handle it.
Others may have forgotten how ugly you really are, but I'll never forge. And I'll make sure the others don't, either.
I tried to ignore her and just enjoy my newfound fame. But of course, Mandy did everything to ruin it. This one time, after gym class, she filled my body wash with oil. Another time, she filled my bag with live frogs that went crazy in the science lab. She was a lunatic. And then, one afternoon, while walking through the mall, I saw Mandy and Isabella together. Mandy was shoving a dress into Isabella's hand and looking over her shoulder. Wait, was she trying to get Isabella to shoplift? I stormed over to them immediately.
Mandy, what are you doing with my sister?
Mind your business, Anna. She's my friend. And wait, way better than you.
Isa, she can't be that good. If she's trying to get you to steal clothes, you're coming with me?
But Isa bit my arm hard and ran off.
Stay away from my sister, Mandy!
But after that, I'd see the two of them together all the time. If they wanted to run their own Anastasia hate club, then fine. I had better things to focus on, like my very first concert that Gigi has arranged to boost album sales. On the night of the concert, my family came to support me, and I was so excited. I grabbed the mic, and I stepped onto the stage confidently. And I was totally owning it. Everything was going great until someone from the crowd screamed and pointed at the chandelier above me, which was falling down. One of my guitar players threw himself at me and managed to get me out of the way, seconds before the chandelier crashed on stage. Before I could even process what had happened, Gigi whisked me away to get me checked up at the hospital. A few days later, I came across the opportunity of a lifetime. There was one spot open in the most prestigious music college, and they'd be visiting the school in 3 months to hold auditions. I just had to get that scholarship.
You can drool on that spot all you want, but it's mine.
Gosh, why was the world always putting Mandy and me against each other? She played the piano, and she was good. Beethoven good. I couldn't let her win this. I threw myself into practice. After rehearsals with Gigi, I'd stay back in the studio and practice for my big day. One evening, while I was walking home from practice and saw Mandy picking a loaf of bread out of the trash. She's the richest girl at school, so why is she digging through garbage for food? I followed Mandy until she went into the bad part of town. The houses were small and shabby, and I watched as she entered one of them. What on earth? I needed to know what was happening, so I walked up to the door and was about to knock when I heard a familiar voice. Isabella.
I told you already. I'm done with this. I'm not doing your homework, shoplifting, or going out of my way to be your puppet.
Isabella was making Mandy do stuff. Feeling shocked, I pulled out my phone, opened the door by an inch, and started recording. What I heard next made my head spin.
You'll do as I say, or I'll spill your filthy little secret all over the internet.
I am so sick and tired of this. Tell everyone I don't care.
You the only so popular, Mandy, not caring what people think. Are you really comfortable with people knowing that your father is rotting in jail for fraud, while you and your mother are left with nothing and living in this rat hole? I find that hard to believe, given how hard you've been trying to keep up appearances in school.
I've done everything you've asked me to do since you read my diary and discovered my secret. You made me tamper with the chandelier at Anna's concert. She could have gotten seriously hurt. I should have never agreed to do it. It's been giving me nightmares.
But if you don't do as I say, I'll tell everyone what you did. Oh, yes, I recorded it. And then you'll go meet Daddy in jail.
Do your worst, Isabella. I don't care.
I watched in horror as Isabella picked up a bat and raised it at Mandy. I flung open the door and lunged at Isabella, not a bat from her hand, and pinned her to the ground.
Get off, you ugly jerk!
Did you completely lose your mind? What have I ever done to hurt you? How could my own sister hate me so much?
Because you overshadowed my life. You should have never been in the picture, and I'd do anything to bring you down.
Isabella lunged at me with a scream, but the commotion had attracted the attention of some neighbors who came running in and held Isabella. Someone called the police, who took her away kicking and screaming. I was still reeling with shock when Mandy turned to me.
You helped me. Why?
We may have our differences, but I couldn't let Isabella blackmail you or hurt you.
Thanks, Anna.
No problem. That's what friends are for.
Friends? Are we friends?
Maybe we could try. Crazier things have happened.
Hi, I'm Grace from Canada. Please like and subscribe. I was raised by my single dad, and he was the best parent anyone could ask for. He was a lawyer and worked long hours, but he was always there to make me breakfast, take me to school, and walk with me home. Throughout my childhood, different people tried to convince Dad to get married, but he never agreed.
You know, every child deserves a mom.
Thank you, but I'm perfectly capable of raising Grace.
Take that, nosy people. Dad and I were perfect alone. But as a kid, I struggled to make friends. It turned out that I had social anxiety, and talking to people was a nightmare. Dad said it was because I spent a lot of time alone, but it didn't get easier. Even after joining school, I always said the wrong things and ended up chasing people away. Like this one time, I saw a girl sitting alone at recess, and I went to talk to her. Hi, I like your dress. It's green like a frog. Not that you look like a frog. Well, maybe you do, but in a good way.
What a weirdo.
After a while, I stopped trying and became the girl who was always alone and kinda invisible. But then, I found company in my books, so it was no surprise that I was a genius at school. My life was really simple. I went to school, topped my grades, and then came home to watch movies with Dad. But when I turned 14, everything changed. One evening, we were halfway through dinner when I noticed that Dad was sweating nervously. OMG, was he having a heart attack? I pushed him down to the floor and began thumping his chest. Dad, you're gonna be fine. I won't let anything happen to you.
I'm fine. Grace, I just wanted to tell you. I met her name is Angela, and I want to marry her. And the best part is, you get a brother and a sister.
Wait, what? What are you talking about, Dad? You always said you didn't need any help raising me, so why now?
I'm not marrying her to raise you, Grace. I'm marrying her because I love her.
Love her? I was furious. I stormed off to my room and slammed the door shut. Our lives were perfect. Why would Dad want to change anything? A week later, Dad arranged for me to meet Angela and her kids over dinner, and I had the perfect plan to chase them away. I changed the settings of the oven and turned the turkey to flames. No food, no dinner, but Angela, my stepmom, turned out to be a master chef. When she came home, she cooked food for everyone, and it was freaking delicious, but I wasn't gonna melt so easily. I kept frowning at her the entire time while her 5-year son kept blowing raspberries at me. He was so cute. Focus, Grace.
This is a really lovely home, and I'm so happy to meet you.
Well, sadly, I'm not.
Grace, you will be nice to our guests. Apologize right now.
I mumbled sorry under my breath and turned my focus to her daughter. Her name was Eva, and she kept going around and touching everything.
Wow, what a big house, and what a shiny sculpture.
Don't touch it. It's my dad's favorite and really valuable.
Don't you mean our dad? Sister, and listen to me carefully. Don't play with me. I'm warning you.
What? She gave me the most evil smirk and rubbed her dirty hands all over the sculpture before she ran away, smirking. After they left, I told Dad I didn't like Angela and her daughter, but he didn't listen. And a month later, they were married. At their wedding, I was the angriest guest ever, but Eva was happier than the bride. A day after the wedding, Dad came into my room and sat on the bed.
I know this is hard for you, Grace, but I want you to promise that you'll try to like them for me, okay?
Dad had never asked me for anything before, and his request moved me. So I decided to chin up and try to love my new family. The same day, Dad and Angela were supposed to leave for their honeymoon. Dad said their trip was canceled because the sitter they'd arranged wasn't available. And I took this chance to be supportive. I can handle everything here, Dad. You should go, I insisted. How hard could it be to take care of a 5-year-old? They agreed and left for the week. And Fred was great, but Eva was a witch. She refused to help and would litter all around the house, thus making me do all the chores by myself. Then one evening, I looked out my window and saw Eva yelling at Fred. I rushed outside to his rescue.
You idiot. How dare you put a bug on my bed? You can't even talk right, you weirdo.
She was about to hit him when I came and stopped her. Stop it, Eva. Don't touch him, and don't speak to him like that.
Back off. He's my brother, not yours. I'll speak to him any way I like.
I knew what it felt like for someone to call you a weirdo, so I gave him a hug. You know, I don't think you're weird. In fact, you're the best 5-year-old I know. His face lit up, and he happily skipped away. I already knew that I was gonna love him so much. And soon enough, he became my first friend ever. And that drove Eva mad.
Fred, you know I'm your actual sister and not her.
But Fred ran to me and climbed into my lap. Soon enough, our parents came home, and Eva joined my school. She instantly became friends with the popular girls, and everyone wanted to be close to her. Ava, it's time to go.
Who are you?
I'm Grace. We've been in the same class since the 1st grade.
Wow, I really never noticed you before.
What? All my life, these people made me feel invisible. And Ava walks in, and suddenly she has a million friends. One weekend when our parents were away, I heard loud music coming from the backyard. I went to check and found Ava having a huge party in the garage. It seemed like half the school was there. What's going on?
I'm having a meet and greet with my new friends.
My dad would not like this.
He'll only know if you tell.
Just then, I heard someone say,
"No way, loser. Nerd Girl is your sister."
And that hurt so much. I'd spent so many birthdays alone because these people never came, but they were all here now. I hated that Ava had walked into my life and was living it better than I ever did. So, I went to the main controller and I shut down the electricity. The music died, and soon everyone left, and Eva came screaming at me. But just then, our parents came back home, and when they saw the mess, Angela was pretty upset.
How dare you have a party without asking? You are in trouble, young lady. I'm grounding you for a month.
It's all right, Angela. She's just a kid.
Ugh, I wish he knew. As soon as Dad took her side, Eva turned to all smiles, and Angela came to me.
I wanted to thank you, Grace. You accepted us as a family and looked after both Eva and Fred, so I got you a present as a token of thanks.
It was a beautiful gold necklace. She put it around my neck, and for the first time, I noticed how beautiful she was. Maybe she wasn't so bad after all.
Hello, where's mine?
You're not getting it anymore. I'll sell it and give the money to charity.
Eva grew red with anger, and she marched to her room. And later that night, she stormed into mine.
Look here, you nerd. If you think my mom loves you, you are wrong. She married your dad for his money, and that's the only reason she's nice to both of you. So before you get any mommy-daughter fantasies in your head, I thought you should know that.
I just tried to ignore her, because I knew she was mean to her core, but it annoyed me so much that people still adored her, even my dad. One evening, I came down into the lounge, and I saw Eva jumping around happily.
Oh my god, we're gonna go see Funky.
Funky? It was our favorite band. Dad and I always watched them play when they came to town.
Actually, Ava and I are going. I only managed to get the last 2 tickets, and Ava's never seen them play before.
What? But that's our thing. This is crazy. You're taking her and not your daughter?
Come on, you've seen them a million times. And Ava is my daughter, too.
Stepdaughter. With that, I picked up a picture frame on the shelf and smashed it to pieces.
Grace, I am so disappointed. I didn't raise you to be a brat.
I didn't care. I was really angry at Dad. In fact, I was angry at all of them for changing my life. But it was hard to hate my stepmom. While Dad and Ava were at the concert, she took me shopping, and we did fun things I never did with Dad. One morning, I overslept, and I was in a hurry to get to school. I was struggling with my hair when she walked into the bathroom and helped me.
There you go. You look beautiful.
Thank you, Angela.
Please call me Mom.
Mom, I imagined a perfect world where she really was my mom. But my thoughts were interrupted by Eva's voice.
Mom, can you leave her ugly hair and help me with mine?
Oh, honey, you guys are late. We don't have time for that.
Eva went red with anger. Jeez. I was slowly getting used to having a new family, even though I still hated Eva. But then one day, it all came crashing down. I came home from school and went to say hello to Mom, but I stopped outside her room when I heard her speak.
Darling, we'll leave as soon as we're done selling those sculptures and all the jewelry. I can't wait to get away from this man and his needy daughter.
My heart broke. So Eva was right all along. Her mother didn't love me, or even Dad. I immediately raced downstairs and saw that Dad's favorite sculpture was gone. Oh my God. I went out to the driveway and waited for Dad to get home. Dad, I told you these people are evil. I told him what I'd heard, and it made me so sad to see his heartbroken face. But when we went back inside, the sculpture was back in place. What? I couldn't believe it, and I could already see how disappointed Dad was in me. Wait, Dad, I'm not lying. I heard Angela myself. She's a thief.
You think I stole something?
I turned around to see Angela, Fred, and Eva standing behind me looking shocked. But they weren't fooling me anymore. Just stop it! I heard you saying you'll sell Dad's sculptures and leave. You can stop pretending now.
All I've ever done since I've come here is love you, but it seems like I'm wasting my time.
She turned to Dad and said,
I love you, but if your daughter hates me enough to make up lies about me, then maybe we shouldn't be together. I'm leaving.
What? Leave? We can't leave. Can we all calm down and talk about this?
But her mom had already stormed off, and Eva ran to her.
I begged you to try and like them for me, but I guess that was too much to ask.
Dad, I'm not lying.
Stop it. You got what you wanted. Congratulations.
It was the first time Dad had ever yelled at me, and then he walked out.
Gracie, you really want us to go? I thought you were my sister.
I cried as I hugged him tight and ran away to my room. As they left in their car, I watched them from my window and cried some more. After that, Dad didn't speak to me for a while. Our lives were back to normal, but everything was different. Dad was miserable, and so was I. I missed Fred and his mom. Why did they have to turn out to be such terrible people? One day, I was in my room when I heard something. I looked outside, and it was Ava throwing stones at my window. I marched downstairs angrily to ask her what she wanted, but she held up her hand.
Wait, let me speak first. I'm just here to fix things. My mom didn't do anything. I used a fake voice app to make up the thing you heard.
What? Are you crazy? Why would you do that?
Because I was jealous. I had Mom to myself for years, but then Fred came along and then you, and she likes you better. It was like I kept getting pushed back and no one remembered me anymore. I didn't mean to break them up. I just wanted to hurt you, and for you to kind of hate Mom. I'm sorry, okay? Please help me make our parents happy again.
Weirdly enough, I sort of understood Eva. To be honest, I was jealous of you too. I didn't like sharing my dad, and all the things I found difficult came so easy to you. Next to you, I felt like a freak.
Don't say that. You're the smartest person I know, and you may not have friends, but you have a brother and sister who care about you, if you still want them.
I could feel tears rolling down my cheeks as we hugged, and I noticed for the first time that she smelled like flowers, just like Angela. Let's go tell our parents about the mess you made.
My mom's gonna kill me.
Don't worry, I'll save you.
Hi, my name is Laura and I'm from Texas. Please like and subscribe. I live with my granny, and she's pretty much the only person I'm close with on this planet. After my parents passed away, she took me in and brought me up. However, growing up, I didn't have many companions. I was always dedicated to my academics, and that's how I managed to secure a scholarship at one of the top schools in the city. But events took an unexpected twist in the 10th grade. It all began when I chose to ride my bike to school one day. Just as I was about to park it, I stumbled over something. My bike then collided with a nearby car. Shoot! The car looked really expensive, and now it had a dent the size of an elephant. I was the queen of broke people. I'd never be able to pay for the damage. I had to get out of here. But just then, two evil-looking shadows showed up behind me, and one of them caught me.
Look at that! She ruined your car and now she's running from the crime scene.
Holy Jesus, not the terrible two. John and Arthur were the two richest and hottest kids in school. However, everyone was afraid of them because they were notorious bullies. And now I had crashed into their car. This was the worst day ever. I wasn't running and I didn't ruin it on purpose, I just accidentally.
Oh, Kitty. Accidentally or not, you're gonna have to pay for this.
Listen, man, I can't pay for it. You want my bicycle? You can have that.
You're making jokes now? You better arrange the money or else.
Oh God, what was I gonna do about these bullies? And then I recalled seeing them harassing a kid really badly after school recently, so I just blurted out, I know your secret, and I'm gonna tell it to the principal.
What secret?
I know what you guys did last Monday! For a moment, they looked shocked, but then John screamed.
What? How? How do you know that?
Judging from their freaked out faces, I could tell it was something significant, and they believed I knew about it. This was perfect. Well, I'm not going to tell you here. I'll tell you in front of the principal. Let's go now.
No, wait, we can talk this out.
Yeah, and you don't need to pay for anything here. Let me check. If your bike's broken, I'll buy you a new one. As many as you want. We'll do anything you say. We'll be your errand boys. But please, just don't tell anyone.
What in the father freaking world? The two most powerful senior guys in school were totally at my mercy.
and I didn't even know why, but I pretended to keep it cool because I didn't want them to know I was bluffing. Sure. Then how about you start with carrying my bag? It's so heavy. My hand hurts. As I went around school that day with these two acting like my personal bodyguards, kids were looking at me like I was a magician who had the terrible two wrapped around my finger. The next day, as I stepped out of my house, John was already waiting for me in his brand new car. This was just getting better.
Hey, I'm here to pick you up. So tell me, do you want to go to the beach today or the movies?
What? No, I want to go to school and attend my classes. I have to submit my assignments next week.
Oh, come on, Laura! You should enjoy yourself and not study so hard. Arthur can do your assignments. He does mine all the time. No big deal.
That sounded good. But I wasn't sure if I trusted them enough to hang out with them outside school. What if they planned to kidnap me because of whatever their stupid secret was? So I insisted on going to school. When we reached there, they kept following me around. At first, it felt like I was some princess. But as the day went by, I realized this was a big problem. I had ballet practice after lunch, and just as I entered the girls' changing room, all the girls started screaming. When I turned around, I was stunned to see those two morons had followed me in. Have you both lost it? This is the girls' changing room.
All the more reason for us to be here, right, Arthur?
I pushed them out and locked the door from inside. But when I went to the dancing room, they were already there, dressed in ballerina's clothes and dancing like toads. What the freaking crabs? What are you guys doing? You don't have to follow me everywhere.
Yes, we do. We can't risk it. What if you go and tell the principal behind our back?
I won't do that.
Well, guess what? We don't trust you.
They just wouldn't leave. And when it was my time to perform, they both started cheering and hooting like they were my craziest fans. What could be the big secret that was making them do all these things to keep me from going to the principal? But as much as I wanted to know, I wanted to get rid of them too. The next day, I left home before they could get here. And even at school, I was on my toes watching out for them. Then during lunchtime, this football jock at school who I had a huge crush on came and sat next to me.
You're the popular girl who tamed those rich brats. And I'm impressed. I like strong and dominating girls. Like you. How about we go, ow?
Arthur picked him up by the collar and threw him out of the seat.
How about I give you a taste of strong and dominating guys?
Arthur, stop! What are you doing? As soon as Arthur let him go, he just ran away. Ugh, why did you do that? He was gonna ask me out?
He asks everyone out. He's a jerk.
Oh, have you looked in the mirror lately? You're the bigger jerk here. With that, I pushed him aside and stormed out of there angrily. Later that day, I was in the library when I saw that football jock kissing some girl behind a bookshelf. Arthur was right. He really was a jerk. I picked up a book and tossed it right at his head.
Ouch!
Well, he deserved it. After that, I went back to solving my math assignment, but I was getting none of the answers correct.
Easy there, Tigress. Let me help you with those.
Help me? Do you even know the— Whoa, how did you do that? I was stunned that this guy, who looked like he probably bought his grades with his dad's money, was actually good at studying. He helped me with my assignments, and honestly, I was starting to feel that he wasn't so bad after all. Just as I was about to apologize for calling him a jerk earlier, John barged into the library.
Thanks for keeping an eye on her while I was away.
Of course. Arthur was just here to babysit me. I felt so dumb thinking he might be nice 2 seconds ago.
So, who's ready to go and watch the new Spider-Man movie?
OMG! I'd been waiting for this movie for months. I screamed so loud with excitement that the librarian kicked us all out. Later that evening, when we stepped out of the movies, it was pretty chilly. Suddenly, Arthur took off his jacket and wrapped it around me. Such a good actor he was. I knew if it wasn't for their secret, he wouldn't care even if I was screaming for help. Soon after, he ran ahead to get the car, and that's when John took my hand and suddenly pulled me close. Whoa, what are you doing?
Aw, come on. I can clearly see you're interested in me. That's why you're playing the blackmail game to keep me close.
What? In your dreams?
That attitude of yours, it's just got me going crazy for you, babe. How about you give me a kiss, now?
This jerk. I was about to push him really hard when suddenly Arthur pulled him away and punched him hard in the face. John landed on his butt.
How dare you touch her?
What the heck, dude? Did you forget who you are? You're a stinky lowlife rat who lives off my leftovers. And how dare you touch me?
Lowlife rat, what was he talking about?
I know who I am, but don't you dare touch her again. Because if you do, I'll shove those leftovers down your throat.
Whoa! It seemed like Arthur was a whole different person. He took my hand, and then we both left from there. All the way back home, he didn't say a word, and I could feel there was something about him that I didn't know. I was getting more and more curious. When we reached home, I handed him his jacket back, and I just couldn't stop myself. Arthur, why did John say all those things about you? I mean, you're rich too.
No, I'm not, Laura. I know it looks like that because I'm always hanging out with John, but I'm a poor nobody.
I don't really understand.
My dad used to work for John's dad, but he passed away a few years back, and I have a sick mom to take care of. John convinced his dad to take us in, and he helps me with money. But basically, since then, I have to do everything he asks me to do.
Oh boy, my heart sank listening to that, and suddenly I just hugged him tight. Thanks for doing what you did for me today, Arthur, and I'm sorry.
Don't be. He totally deserves it. But I really wish you'd never seen us do it. And then you wouldn't be involved with jerks like us.
Seen what? Suddenly he looked at me with surprise. The secret he was talking about, the big secret? Oh yeah, totally saw that.
Wait a second. You don't know what it is, do you? Now that I think about it, you never really mentioned it, because you don't know what it is.
I panicked, and then you guys assumed I knew your secret.
Laura, how can you even do something like this, knowing how bad John is? If he knows you don't know, he'll... Oh God, I can't believe this.
He stormed off angrily, and now my heart was pumping like crazy for what was going to happen next. The next day, when I reached school, I saw Arthur was still hanging out with John. But his face was full of bruises, like someone had hit him really bad. Of course, it was John. Later, when Arthur was all alone in the boys' washroom, I went in. Why are you letting him treat you this way? I know it's John who beat you up.
What are you doing here? And I told you I owe him. Just stay out of it. I don't want you getting hurt.
But you're willing to get hurt all alone? This is wrong, Arthur. You can't let him ruin your life like this. What he's doing to you and the other kids around school, this has to stop.
Yes, but there's nothing I can do.
You can. You've always been with him. You know everything he does. You can go and tell the principal all about it.
But I was there with him in everything he did. I helped him. If I rat him out, I'll be out of school, and I'll be on the streets with my mom.
Just then, John came out of nowhere and pinned me against the wall.
So you're planning to ruin me, huh? You have no idea who you're messing with, little birdie.
And you have no idea who you're messing with, you ugly crow. I smashed my head hard into his face, and he fell to the floor crying in pain. Arthur grabbed my hand, and we ran out of there.
I'm going to the principal. You're right. I can't be a coward and let him hurt everyone like this. Especially you, Laura. I'll deal with the outcomes later.
I'll be right there with you. We went into the principal's office, and Arthur confessed everything, from John's bullying incidents to the biggest secret of all. After the principal had told John he was going to fail in most of his subjects, John trashed the principal's brand new car. One evening, he smashed the windows and the lights and spray painted all over it, with Arthur's help. The principal immediately called John in and said he was going to be expelled. Since Arthur had confessed everything, he was going to be suspended for a while and made to do volunteer work. And suddenly, John turned to Arthur.
You filthy moron! I fed you and you backstabbed me. You're done too, Arthur. Even if you aren't expelled, you can't stay in this school without me paying your fee. And your mom? Who's gonna pay for her treatments now? It would have been better if you had kept following my orders like a loyal puppy. And now you're doomed.
And that's when John's dad walked in looking horrified.
That's enough. I had no idea I was raising such a brat. How dare you exploit this poor kid? Arthur, don't you worry, son. I'm here for you.
Dad, I'm so sorry.
Not a word. Your principal told me everything on the phone, and the rest I've heard myself. I'm sending you to an army school right away.
John kept begging his dad, but it didn't seem like it was going to work in his favor. When Arthur and I walked out of the room, I turned to him and said, "How do you feel?"
Never been better. Thanks to you, Laura, I was able to be brave.
I'm just so happy things will be better for you. So now that there's no secret, are you still going to be nice to me?
Yeah, I'll carry your bag every day.
And then he pulled me in for a kiss.
Hi, I'm Sophia from New Hampshire. Please like and subscribe. My sister Ivy and I are twins. Dad left before we were born, so I never knew him. Mom raised us on her own, and she was just something else. When we were babies, Mom forced us to wear helmets every day, except for when we slept. We even wore helmets in the bath when she wasn't washing our hair.
Mommy needs you to wear these, so you don't bump your heads and die.
She even placed mats all over the house. When Ivy and I were learning to crawl, our home felt like a massive soft cushion. Worst of all, Mom never allowed us to go outside, except the nearby grocery store sometimes. And she took us to the park once a year on our birthday. But it was only when the house was empty at night, and we were stuck with online homeschooling. The world is full of kidnappers, diseases, and other terrible things that can harm you girls. Neither Ivy nor I understood why Mom was so strict, but I was always getting into trouble. I would bang and kick the walls or throw and break things. I hate this house. Mommy, I want to live outside like a panda.
Pandas do not get brand new iPads.
Yay! I get to play Candy Crush. Ivy never realized that Mom only bought us fancy things to keep us distracted, so we wouldn't try to escape the house. The only enjoyable part about being indoors was when Mom played music on the radio. My favorite was the rock station. But one time, I turned up the volume so loud that it felt like the house was shaking.
Ow, my ears!
I'm taking away this radio. You're lucky you didn't make us all deaf.
I hated Mom, and I was pretty sure she hated me. One day, when I was 8 years old, I woke up to Mom standing on my bed, drilling something into the wall. Mom, what are you doing?
I'm installing alarms that detect anyone trying to go out your window. This way, no kidnappers can get in, and you and Ivy can't get out either. Look, darling, I bought you a giant doll for you.
At that moment, something inside me snapped. I grabbed the giant doll and threw it hard at the window, smashing the glass. And then I jumped outside. Mom screamed. She leapt outside to catch me, but I was running like a lunatic. When I was certain I had gone far enough, I paused to catch my breath. Then I began doing a happy dance. I was free. Suddenly, I heard noise and stomping in the background. A bunch of guys with drums and guitars came marching down the street, and I was so thrilled. I never thought I'd hear music again. As they came closer, one of the guys called out to me.
Why are you hiding behind that tree, little girl?
I don't know, you might kidnap or kill me. Mom warned me about people like you.
What are you talking about? This is a music parade. Come sing with us.
Before I knew it, I was marching with the parade and singing along. It turned out I was a pretty good singer too. But all of a sudden, I saw Mom and Ivy running to me with about 10 cops. Mom took me straight to the doctor to make sure I didn't catch any diseases from being outdoors. For the next 4 years, that was the last time I ever got to be alone.
From now on, I'm never letting you or Ivy out of my sight. I'll work at home. You girls will move into my bedroom.
Ivy and I couldn't even go to the bathroom without Mom standing outside the door. But one night when I was 14, I saw Mom asleep and snuck upstairs to the attic. I needed a moment to myself. But when I got there...
Sophia, what are you doing up here?
What are you doing up here? Are you having a date?
No, duh, we're having a date. I did everything to escape all your mom's crazy alarm systems.
Wow, Ivy, I thought you were Mom's good little girl. But don't worry, I'll keep your little secret. But just then, Mom came running upstairs.
What on earth is going on here? Who on earth are you? Get out of my house this instant.
Mom, stop, you're embarrassing me.
Do you know what embarrasses me? That one of my daughters was on a cozy date with a kidnapper or a robber.
I jumped in and said, he's neither of those things. He's my boyfriend. Mom grabbed a baseball bat in the corner as she swung it towards Ivy's date. He ran down the attic as fast as he could. That's when Mom burst into tears and started to pull her hair and yell like a toddler.
That boy in the house could have kidnapped you both. I've done everything to keep danger out of this house. But I failed. I have to send you girls to a strict boarding school with security cameras in every single room.
Good. Send us to boarding school. I'm tired of living with all your crazy rules.
But I don't want to go to boarding school. This is so unfair.
But 2 weeks later, Mom sent us away to boarding school. Ivy refused to talk to me there, and I couldn't take the tension between us. Please don't be mad at me. I even tried to keep your secret. I can't help it that Mom's a psycho.
Just leave me alone.
I grabbed Ivy's arm, but she pulled away. At that moment, Ivy tripped and fell straight to the floor. She started to cry, and tons of teachers came running. I'm sorry, it was a total accident.
I think I broke a bone.
You sound just like Mom. Just because you fell down doesn't mean you broke a bone. But it turned out Ivy broke her leg, and an ambulance took Ivy to the hospital immediately. I probably should have gone with Ivy to the hospital, but something in the hallway made me forget all about Ivy's accident. There were all these photos of famous musicians. In the center was a musician that looked just like my mom when she was a teenager, and the name under it was also Mom's.
Hey, fancy bumping into you again.
I turned around to see the guy from our attic. Aren't you my sister's boyfriend?
Nah, your sister and I just had that one disastrous date. Why were you staring at that picture?
I think this is my mom. She looks exactly like her and has the same name, Jen Zelda.
No, that's Jen Zelda, a teen rock star, but she stopped making music a long time ago. That psycho lady who tried to hit me with a bat is definitely not her.
It's not funny. You don't know what it's like to live with a crazy mom who hates you and spoils you at the same time.
Why do you think I'm in boarding school? My parents sent me here because they don't want me around.
Wow, I'm glad someone else's parents hate them too. I mean, not glad. You know what I mean? Listen, I need your help. I know it's impossible, but I need to find out if that girl in the photo is my mom. Nolan and I spent days researching Jen Zelda, but we couldn't find a picture of her that wasn't old. And no matter what, we couldn't find a reason why she quit her career. And Mom was nowhere on the internet. She was always worried about creeps and kidnappers finding out where she lived.
I don't get it. Just ask your mom about it.
She wouldn't tell me anything. She's crazy. She doesn't even let me listen to music, even though I love singing.
You like singing? Me too!
Before I could answer, I heard a noise behind me. I turned around to see Ivy in a wheelchair.
Sophia, where have you been? You never visited me in the hospital.
Ivy, I'm so sorry. I meant to visit you, but I found something crazy about Mom.
Wait, what's Nolan doing here?
I meant to tell you I transferred here and that your sister and I like each other.
Wait, what?
What do you mean like each other? You never visited me because you were hitting on a guy I dated. Sophia.
What? No, that's not it at all. Get off me. Nolan. Ivy could barely walk, but she limped away as fast as she could. I went after her to apologize, but her door was locked and Nolan followed me around all week.
Come on, I really like you. Ivy will get over it.
I wanted Nolan to leave me alone, even though he was cute and interesting. But when we both auditioned for the school band and got in, it was impossible to avoid him. I really wished Ivy would talk to me so I could tell her what I discovered about Mom. But she just wouldn't, and it was all I could think about. Could it really be that Mom had just been a completely different person before? And what happened to her? 2 weeks later, the day of our show arrived, and just as I stepped onto stage to perform, I froze in my spot. Mom was in the audience. Suddenly, I couldn't remember any of the lyrics to my song. I stood there completely blank as the band played on.
Get on with the song, you freak!
Oh, loser!
All of a sudden, all the kids started throwing. I wanted to disappear, but then I had an idea. Hey, who wants to hear a former rock star sing? I want to welcome Jen Zelda to the stage. I wanted to see how Mom would react.
Jen Zelda isn't here! Idiot! Her career ended 30 years ago.
Everyone continued booing and throwing things at me. That's when Mom walked on stage and grabbed my microphone.
I knew this school wasn't strict enough.
Hey, it is Jen Zelda.
Mom, is it true you were a rock star?
Never mind that. They let students be in a band. Bands go out at night with gang members and crazy people.
Mom, just sing with me!
Oh no! I know everything you girls have been up to. I downloaded apps on your phones that let me read your messages. This school is stupid and unsafe. And I came here tonight to take you both home.
Mom grabbed my arm and tried to drag me off stage. Kids were laughing like crazy.
It'll be fun. I bought a horse for you and Ivy. I'll go bring him.
What are we going to do with a horse? Why can't you just act normal for once and just sing with me?
Haha, who knew Jen Zelda was a psycho?
I had never felt more humiliated. Before I knew it, I screamed, "Security!" My yell made my mic screech across the auditorium, and to my shock, security guards came running on stage to take my mom away. She cried and kicked her legs in the air.
I need to take them home. I even brought them their own horse.
I felt awful seeing the security guards take Mom away. But she was acting crazier than ever. I thought I'd call her the next morning to see how she was. But just then, Ivy came to my room and said the principal wanted to see us. Ivy and I walked into his office to find him sitting with another man.
Girls, you won't be seeing your mother for a while. She's in the hospital.
In the hospital? Is she hurt?
After what we saw on stage, we did an investigation. Your mother has a condition.
A condition?
It's called schizophrenia. Her brain works a little differently. She worries about things that other people don't worry about.
But she was a singer, wasn't she?
She was an incredible musician. Her condition is why she had to stop. But don't worry, girls. Your mother is in the hospital getting help, and you'll be able to see her soon.
Ivy and I were totally silent, walking out of the principal's office. For the first time in my life, Mom's weirdness sort of made sense. I wonder if that's why Dad left Mom. Because of her condition.
Dad should have taken care of her and inspired her to sing again.
A few weeks later, Ivy and I visit Mom in her treatment center. She was so happy to see us.
I'm so sorry about everything that's happened. And Sophia, I'm so proud of your talent. Music runs in our blood, honey.
In a couple of months, Mom was out of treatment and back home. It took a while for Mom to let go of her crazy rules. She never became completely normal, but she was so much happier. She told Ivy and me all about her life as a rock star. It turned out she and I were more alike than I ever thought.
Jen Zelda really is your mom. And even though she's a little different, she gave you a killer singing voice. You're really going places, Sophia.
Nolan and I ended up dating all throughout high school. At the end of my senior year, we got a job at a production company. We had the opportunity that year to perform in a world tour. One day, I came into work with a present I'd bought to surprise Nolan.
You bought me a baby, babe? Is this your way of telling me I drool?
No, it's my way of telling you I'm pregnant. I know we only finished high school, but I love you, and I want to start a family with you.
What do you mean you're pregnant? We're going on a world tour. It's even in the contract. Don't get pregnant.
I thought you'd be happy.
Happy that you'd want to throw all our dreams away? Happy that we have to pay thousands of dollars to this company?
Maybe this is a sign we shouldn't go on this tour. Then we can raise our baby without anything holding us back.
I love you, and I don't want anything to hold us back. But I'm not ready to be a dad, Sophia. And I'm not going to raise this kid with you.
Nolan, are you leaving me?
I'm sorry.
My life only consisted of two things the next 9 months: pregnancy and debt from all the money I owed the company. I even had to move back in with Mom temporarily.
Don't worry about anything, sweetie. You can raise the baby right here.
Thanks, Mom. Just as long as you don't make him wear a helmet. Ivy and Mom were right next to me in the hospital when I gave birth to my perfect baby boy, Miles. Suddenly, I heard a voice behind me.
Is it cool if I hold him?
Nolan, what are you doing here?
I came to meet the mother of my son and to tell her that I made the biggest mistake of my life leaving her. I know you're not going to forgive me, but I want you to know that I've paid off all the debt to the music studio. I love you, Sophia. And I love our son, too. I always will.
So come back here and hold him then. Miles wants to meet his dad.
You can tell him I'm not going anywhere.
Hi, I'm Gabrielle, but everyone calls me Gabby. But before I continue my story, click like and subscribe. I've been hearing the story of my birth from Mom ever since I can remember.
Oh, you were so lazy. You came out 3 weeks after my due date and you were almost 12 pounds. My arms would hurt after holding you for a minute.
You were worth the wait, Gabby. You were just the cutest baby ever. And you still are.
Dad adored me, and so did my older twin siblings. I'm sure Mom loved me too, but she had a funny way of showing it. Once, when I was 3, everyone was eating pizza for dinner, but Mom just kept popping boiled carrots in my mouth. I suddenly leapt onto the table and bit into her pizza slice. She pulled it away, but I clung onto it like a puppy.
What are you doing? Let Gabby have pizza. Come here, sweetie. I'll give you the biggest slice.
Mom looked mad.
She doesn't need more calories. You're turning my daughter into an elephant.
But I didn't care. I was eating pizza. Once on Halloween, I went trick-or-treating with my siblings and came home with my bag full. Everyone said I was so cute, and they gave me extra candy. But Mom snatched it from me.
That's going to make you fat. Just give them to me and leave.
I was really sad that she took it away, but Dad snuck me a few pieces every night. Growing up, Dad and I read lots of books together, and in the 1st grade, I started writing poetry. My teacher entered one of my poems in a school competition, and I won 2nd prize. Dad was so proud, he had it framed for his office. At Thanksgiving dinner, he asked me if I'd recite my poem for everyone, and I was happy to. As everyone clapped for me, grumpy Auntie Polly walked in.
Good God, child. You look like you're about to burst out of your clothes. You've gotten so fat!
That's the first time I saw Dad get really mad.
How dare you say that? She's just a child, and she's perfect.
With that, he picked me up and told my family that we were leaving. In the 5th grade, we were at the beach once, and I was going around happily in my new pink bathing suit. I went over to some girls my age and asked if I could make sandcastles with them, but one of them rudely pushed me away.
We don't play with fat girls. You're ugly.
I burst into tears and ran off, and Dad was furious.
I'm gonna tell those girls exactly what I think. Where are their parents?
Oh, can you stop creating drama everywhere? I told you not to buy her that ridiculous bathing suit, and she does need to lose weight. Of course people will make fun of her.
And that evening, Mom told me I was going on a diet.
Your sibling's 16th birthday is coming up in a few months, and they'll buy you an amazing dress. If you lose some weight, you'll feel so good about yourself.
Later that night, I snuck downstairs to the kitchen and started stuffing my face with crisps and cookies. I had to eat as much as I could before starting Mom's stupid diet. Mom took me to the nutritionist's office the next day, and I instantly disliked Dr. Christine.
Come on, Chubby. Get on the scale. Yes. You're really overweight. You need to lose at least 20 pounds.
Do you think we can manage this by September, Doctor?
It all depends on Gabrielle. But yes, it can be done.
Do you want to lose weight, honey? Do you want to be beautiful for the party?
I remembered the mean girl's words at the beach and said, yeah, I want to be beautiful. So, the nutritionist made a special diet for me, and we had to buy all these expensive products from her. I had to eat some special toasts with special cheese, and it tasted disgusting. As I was making faces at the dinner table, Dad ate some food from my plate and almost threw up.
Why are you making Gabby eat this horrible stuff? Just make her some healthy food. She doesn't need to eat rubbish.
No, Daddy, I want to eat this rubbish. I want to be pretty.
But you already are, sweetheart.
It's okay. It's only for a few months. Please.
Don't look at me. She wants to be skinny.
Dad looked kind of sad, but he didn't say anything. After that, I kept doing the awful diet, and I didn't lose an ounce. Not an inch. The day of the big party was approaching, and Mom waited until the very last minute to see if I'd lost some weight. Before she took me shopping, she asked the saleswoman to show us clothes that would look good on me.
Oh, I see what you mean. You want her to look skinny. I might just have the right dress. Why don't you try this, and this, and this?
I tried on all the clothes, and I hated everything. As I was taking off a white dress in the changing room, I overheard something that broke my heart.
How did the dress fit her?
Oh, not very well. That white dress makes the girl look like a small refrigerator. Short and square. I wish she had inherited my figure.
I burst into silent tears. That's what Mom really thought of me. We bought some stupid black dress, and on the day of the party, I held my breath and tucked my tummy in for all the pictures. I just felt ugly and miserable. Being fat didn't affect my ability to love, though. I was falling in love at school all the time, but I'd grown up too insecure and shy to ever ask anyone out, and, well, no one ever noticed me. In the 9th grade, I fell madly in love with James, this gorgeous boy who was 2 years older than me. He played basketball, and I'd watch him from a distance and write poems about him. One day at lunch, someone tapped me on the shoulder, and I almost fell off my seat when I saw it was James.
Hey, you dropped this paper in the hall. Did you write this poem yourself? It's really good.
I just stared at him like a dumb goldfish, and seconds later, a skinny girl took his arm and led him away. I crumpled up the paper and threw it away angrily. Of course, he had a girlfriend who looked like a freaking model. Just then, this annoying bully Aaron from my class sat next to me with a grin.
Ah, Chubby Gabby! You like James, don't you? I've seen how you stare at him every day.
I do not.
I don't care. Girl, you want to get noticed by someone like him? You should hang out with me. I'm like the most popular guy around. Come to a party at my place tonight. James will be there too, and I'll introduce you guys.
But he has a girlfriend.
Oh, that's not his girlfriend. Trust me, he's single.
That offer was too tempting to resist. So I went to the party that evening, and when I got there, the first thing I saw was James dancing with that girl. Aaron, I think those two are together. This is stupid. I'm just gonna go home.
Oh, poor dummy. You don't know the first thing about guys, do you? Give him something to be jealous about, like this.
And suddenly, Aaron pulled me in and kissed me. I immediately shoved him away.
What's wrong with you, Gabrielle? You just show up uninvited at my party, begging to kiss me. Does being fat make you needy and desperate for love?
I stared at him in horror as I felt everyone's eyes on me. You liar! I'd rather kiss a monkey's bud. I gave him a hard slap and then I ran away from there. But since Aaron was a popular jerk, he made sure I became known as the fat, desperate girl, and my self-esteem hit rock bottom. Suddenly, I just lost my appetite and stopped eating. Dad was worried and kept asking me what was wrong, but Mom was delighted when I got skinny.
Wow, Gabby, you look amazing. Want to go shopping?
No, I'm good, thanks.
But you're in those big clothes.
Fat clothes, you mean?
Why are you talking to me like that? What did I do to you?
Nothing, Mom. You're just perfect. When I went off to college, I finally made some friends there. Suddenly, I fit in the clothes I fit in with others. But then I discovered something. No one here cared about my looks. People were interested in my poetry and the things I had to say, not the way I was on the outside. For the first time, I felt I could breathe. I started relaxing, eating more, and having fun. When I went home for Christmas, I took my coat off and found Mom staring at me like a hawk.
Gabby, did you gain weight?
I don't know, Mom. I didn't check.
But it's such a shame that you're getting fat again, honey. You have to be careful.
So what if I get fat? Will I be ugly, useless, worthless?
What's wrong with you? Are you upset about something?
Mom, I'm mad at you. You made me feel my entire life that being fat is the worst thing in the world. That it's the only thing that defines you. But it's not.
I was only looking out for you. I want you to be healthy.
Are you sure? Because I was unhealthy and miserable when I got skinny, and you weren't bothered about that. The only thing you ever wanted for me was to be pretty, no matter what the cost. You've just never loved me the way I am.
That's not true. I care a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure you care, Mom. Just not in the way that's any good for me. I'm leaving.
Well, we're coming with you. I'd like to enjoy a family dinner for once.
I turned around to see my dad and siblings looking really angry at Mom. We all left without her, and we had an amazing Christmas dinner at a restaurant. As Dad dropped me off at college, he put his hands on my face and said,
I'm so proud of how smart and strong you are. And I'm glad you're realizing your own worth. You are and always will be perfect to me.
Time passed, and I gained and lost weight all the time. And even though my confidence was better, I still had a hard time believing that someone could love me just the way I was. But one day, someone tapped my shoulder at the supermarket.
Hey, Gabrielle, right?
Oh yeah, hi, I'm sorry. Who are you?
James from school, remember? I think I was your senior. I recognized you because you still have those beautiful eyes.
Oh my God, it was James, the James! We went out for coffee the same day and talked for hours over chocolate cake. I even shared the poems I was writing for my first book. It was perfect. And soon after, we started dating. Slowly, but surely, I was changing and fixing the damage. My mother still gives opinions about my body all the time, but she no longer affects me. I finally understood that her problem was about her own insecurities. Now I love myself just the way I am when I'm skinny and when I'm fat. Also, I have this wonderful man next to me who isn't shallow at all. He knows how to love unconditionally. After so much suffering, I now know I am beautiful no matter what. Hello, I'm Laura from Denmark. Please like and subscribe. I don't remember much of my dad, but Mom always told me he was a horrible person. Apparently, when I was just a year old, he said one day he was going to buy milk, and he never came back. And since then, Mom really had issues trusting people. Like, once when I was 4, Mom and I were in the elevator at a shopping mall, and there was a nice lady who kept smiling at me, and Mom freaked out.
Why are you staring at my daughter?
Because she's so adorable.
Keep your eyes to yourself, lady.
Mommy, she didn't do anything.
You can't trust anyone these days. What if she wants to snatch you away?
Although Mom was kind of boring and strict, she tried her best to give me a good life. She worked as a banker, and we lived in the same apartment building as my favorite Aunt Lily. Since Mom worked long hours, I'd stay with my aunt, who only worked night shifts at a restaurant. Aunt Lily and I looked a lot alike with our blonde hair and blue eyes, and she adored me. I loved her too, because she was so much fun. But her daughter Emma, who was my age, didn't seem to like me much. Maybe it was because I had better grades or was more athletic than her. Or maybe she hated that Aunt gave me so much attention. Once in first grade, our moms took us to a Mother's Day function in the neighborhood. There were so many fun activities, like the mother-daughter sack race, but Mom complained that her leg was sore. So my aunt took turns racing with me and Emma. Emma was so slow, but I ended up winning the race with Aunt. When we received a gold medal for winning, Emma went ballistic and pulled it right off my neck.
This is mine because she's my mom.
No, it's not. I won the race. We both started fighting like crazy over the medal, and our moms had to separate us. It was an ongoing battle between me and my cousin, and she could be really evil when she got jealous. Like once in 4th grade, we were on our way to the hairdresser with Aunt, when some lady stopped her and asked if I was her daughter. Emma looked at me angrily, and then tripped me when I wasn't looking. At the salon, the hairdresser went to get her tools, and Aunt left us for a moment to go to the shop next door. Suddenly, Emma crept up from behind me and chopped off my long ponytail.
Now you look like a silly boy.
Emma, why would you do this?
Because my mom is my mom and you need to stay away from her.
I pounced on her and pinned her down, and then I chopped off her hair too. There, now we're even. When my aunt and the hairdresser returned, they were shocked, and Aunt was scared to face my mom since Mom always called her irresponsible.
Gosh! Lily, I can never trust you to do anything right. All I wanted was for her to have a fringe. This is a disaster.
It's okay, Mom. It'll grow back.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for this to happen.
Mom refused to hear my aunt out, and she left looking upset. Why did Mom always have to be so uptight? Aunt Lily understood me better than my mom. We liked the same jokes, movies, and many other things. And sometimes I wish that Emma had my mom and I had hers. Like once in 8th grade, I wanted to go to my classmates' party, but Mom flatly refused.
I don't know this girl or her family. How do I know what kind of people they are, and why is this party so late at night? No, you're not going.
But Aunt Lily spoke up for me.
Come on, she's a good kid. You can't lock her up forever, you know. Let her go have some fun.
Okay, but if anything bad happens, it's your fault.
I was having an amazing time at the party until someone suddenly fell from the balcony. Luckily, the person ended up on the trampoline. But as she stood up, I saw to my horror that it was Mom. To make things worse, she got off the trampoline, lost her balance, and crashed straight into a food table.
OMG, who are you? You lunatic! I'm going to call the cops on you for breaking into my house.
Do I look like some criminal? You foolish girl! I'm Laura's mom! Oh, there you are, sweetie!
Mom, what are you doing here?
I was just checking if you were safe.
I was the laughing stock of my school after that, and Emma enjoyed every moment of it. When we were in 10th grade, I started noticing that Emma never went straight home after school. So one day I decided to follow her. She went to the park and sat on a bench, and sometime later, a man wearing a cap turned up and sat next to her. What on earth was she up to? This guy looked really shady and I had to do something. Emma!
Laura, what are you doing here?
I was just passing by and I saw you. What are you doing?
Oh, please, Laura. You can't tell my mom about this.
And then she revealed something shocking. The man was her father. I'd never met him before, but I knew Aunt hated him. Emma, your mom will be pissed if she finds out.
I know. That's why you can't tell her.
I tried to stay out of it, but I couldn't help noticing that Emma was acting weirder by the day. She was often sneaking out of classes and missing school. And one day, when her bag was slightly open, I saw that she had a lot of food and some money inside. It looked like she was stealing from Aunt for her dad. I couldn't keep the secret anymore, so I ended up telling Mom.
Oh no, that's bad news. He's not a very nice person.
What do you mean?
He has a gambling problem. That's why Lily kicked him out. I must tell her about this.
Not just yet. Maybe I can stop her from seeing her dad. I'll talk to her. My cousin was stubborn, and I knew she wasn't going to listen to me. So the next day after school, I decided to get to the park before Emma, and luckily, her dad was already there. Listen, mister, I want you to leave Emma alone.
And who are you to tell me what to do?
I'm her family, and you have to stay away from her.
Sorry, no can do. She's my daughter, and if you try standing in my way, I'll come after you and your mother. I can make your lives miserable.
He looked really threatening, but I bravely stood my ground and told him I'd report him to the police. He looked at me furiously before he walked off. When I told Mom about what happened, she freaked out and insisted that we tell Aunt. But when we went to see Aunt Lily, we found her crying with a letter in her hand.
Emma is gone.
What do you mean gone? Emma had written in her letter that she was going to live with her dad because she felt that my aunt loved me more. I was speechless because I didn't know that her jealousy towards me affected her so much. We went out searching for her and had no luck for weeks. One day, I went over to cheer up Aunt Lily, but to my shock, she told me not to visit her anymore. But why?
You knew all this time that she was seeing her father, but you didn't tell me, and now I've lost my only child. Please just go away.
It broke my heart that Aunt hated me now, but I had to give her some space. Months later, I came home from school one day and found a hair clip in the elevator that I knew belonged to my aunt. I decided to slip it under her door, but when I reached her floor, I saw Aunt in the corridor being robbed by a masked man. He pulled Aunt's bag and started running away, but I chased him and knocked him down. And when I pulled his mask off, I saw that it was Emma.
Well done! You just saved your favorite aunt. Where would she be without you?
Emma, I've been looking for you everywhere. Look, if you want money, I'll just give it to you. But please just stay.
Why should I? You already have your perfect daughter, and my dad loves me like you love her.
She grabbed a handful of cash from Aunt's bag, threw it at her, and fled. Aunt and I just stood there in shock, and then she turned to me.
This is all your fault.
What, Aunt, can you please? But she walked off and slammed her door shut, and after a few weeks, she moved out for good without even telling us where. I was devastated, but Mom didn't seem to care.
Good riddance! I always felt she was a bad influence on you, and clearly she's a bad mother. She just had one child to raise, and she couldn't even do that.
No, Mom. She raised two, and she's amazing and understanding, and sometimes I wished she was my mom instead of you. I regretted my words instantly, but I couldn't take them back now, even though I apologized to Mom later. Our relationship was more awkward than ever. After completing school, I started college and found a part-time assistance job at a company so I could move out of my house. One morning, as I was getting coffee, I saw Emma dressed in ragged clothes walking across the road, and I went after her. Emma! She looked shocked at first, and then to my surprise, she hugged me.
Oh, I'm so glad to see you, Laura.
What happened to you?
Soon after I started living with Dad, he stopped caring about me. I even dropped out of school because he wouldn't pay for it.
Because I had to rush off to work. I gave her my address and the keys to my apartment and asked her to wait for me there. But when I got back home, all my things were gone. She had stolen everything from me, even some furniture and all my electronics. Since I hardly had anything at home, I decided to stay at Mom's for a few days.
I'm so glad to see you. You hardly even call.
I know, Mom. I get busy sometimes. I need to sleep over.
Sure, that would be lovely.
She cooked my favorite pasta, and I actually found myself enjoying my time with Mom. Somehow, she just seemed lighter.
With you all grown up, I figured I didn't need to work so hard all the time. I joined a women's group, and we do so many fun things together, so I've learned so much. Talking to my new friends, I realized something. I've never made it clear enough that I think you're an amazing kid, Laura. I'm proud of you.
It felt good to hear Mom say that. I think you're a pretty good mom too, and I'm sorry if I ever made you feel otherwise. I then told her about what happened with Emma, and she immediately called Aunt Lily. When Aunt Lily came over, I took her to the street where I'd met Emma, and when we got there, I saw her again. But this time, she was dressed in nice clothes and was walking into a fancy restaurant. Gosh, she stole all my stuff and bought herself new clothes.
I'm sorry about what she did, but I have to see her.
When we walked up to her table, Emma looked shocked.
Emma, please don't go. Let's talk.
There's nothing to talk about. Can you guys please leave? I have a meeting with someone.
Oh, who do you have a meeting with? Another thief. What did you do with my stuff? Which?
Haha. Why were you so stupid to give me your keys? I sold your stuff and my dad has the money. So too bad.
You had a good family, and you threw it all away to become a criminal.
You people are not my family. My dad is, and I'm not a criminal. Just street smart.
Aunt tried her best to talk some sense into her, but she refused to listen. But just as Aunt and I were leaving, suddenly a rich-looking woman barged into the restaurant with cops and pointed straight at Emma.
There she is. She came to work for me as a secretary for 1 week and stole thousands of dollars. I have proof. Arrest her.
Aunt and I were horrified as the cops took Emma away, and we followed her to the police station. Emma tried to call her dad, but he wouldn't pick the cop. The cops looked for him, and it seems like he'd just vanished. They realized he was the real criminal, and Emma was only his accomplice. But she was still given 6 months in prison. Aunt visited her every day, and one day, she came to see me too.
I'm sorry I blamed you all these years for Emma. It was wrong of me to place such a burden on you.
It's okay, Aunt Lily. It's all in the past. After she got out, Emma went back to living with Aunt. I heard she'd started school again, and I was glad for her. Months later, I was sitting in my half-furnished apartment. The bell rang, and I found Emma outside.
I have a surprise for you.
When she took me outside, there was a truck full of all the stuff she stole from me. Wow, how did you manage to get it all back?
Mom helped me get a part-time job, and I saved up for this. It was the least I could do for you. I'm really sorry that I was always jealous of you. Laura and I took advantage of you when you were just trying to help me. I'll be better, I promise.
I think you already are. Now help me get this stuff into my apartment.
Sally walked through the door in the back alley straight into the crazy restaurant kitchen. She spotted her mom stirring 3 pots while the head chef screamed at everyone.
Faster! Faster!
Sally walked up to her mom and tugged at her apron.
Mom, I need to ask you something. Right now? Yes, right now. What is it then? Spit it out.
Mom, where's my daddy?
Suddenly, the bowl her mother was holding crashed to the floor.
Oh my God, you stupid woman! You're fired! Get out!
A minute later, Sally and her mother found themselves out on the street.
Mom, I'm really sorry.
You wanted to know about your dad, huh?
Yeah, we had to make a family tree in school.
Well, he's not your family. He's a good-for-nothing loser who left us. I'm your mom and your dad. And look, just mentioning him made me lose my job. He's bad luck. Not a word about him ever again.
As they walked back home in silence, Sally wondered who her dad was and why he'd left. What she didn't know was that her mom wasn't telling the truth. Her dad didn't even know she existed. One day in the 10th grade, Sally was waitressing at a restaurant when suddenly a woman started to choke on something. Sally rushed to her and performed the Heimlich maneuver till she coughed out a piece of chicken.
Oh my God, you saved my life.
As all the customers applauded, the woman took Sally's hand and dragged her outside.
I don't know how to thank you, but let me try.
She took off a large diamond ring on her finger and pushed it in Sally's palm. Sally tried to refuse, but she wouldn't hear a word and just left. When Sally and her mom had the ring valued, it turned out to be worth a whopping $1.2 million. This could change their lives. They sold the ring, and with the money, they decided to move to a better house. One night, Sally's mom slipped into the attic and took an old letter out of the box. She went downstairs and threw it in the fireplace. She didn't want Sally to ever read it. The letter said, "I'm so sorry that you had a miscarriage and you had to go through it alone. I know you hate me, but please let me help you. I really do love you, and I always will. Charles." But what she didn't know was that a few days ago, Sally had been looking for something in the attic, and she'd already found the letter, and it kept haunting her. Sally looked for anything she could find on her dad, and found out he was a wealthy businessman. She'd never be at peace till she met him just once. So one night she packed her bags, took some of the ring money, and left home. She took a train to the city where her dad lived. Now all she had to do was find a way to get close to him. The next morning at breakfast, Sally spat out her coffee when she saw an ad in the newspaper for a nanny by her dad's family. 24/7 nanny needed for an 8-year-old girl. P.S. only apply if you have a sophisticated British accent.
Wow, that's perfect.
Sally thought to herself.
I can fake that.
When Sally went for the interview, her jaw dropped at the size of the mansion, and there was a long line of nannies at the front door. As she joined the line, a little girl peeked out from behind a tree, looking angrily at the nannies. Just then, she spotted Sally and their eyes met. Sally started walking over to her. That must be her half-sister.
What are you doing, sweetheart?
I'm Cynthia. I'm running away. What does it look like?
Oh, I see. But why?
'Cause my mom's getting me an old cranky nanny again.
Well, what if I was your nanny?
You don't look old or cranky.
I'm not, darling. I'm full of nonsense and fun.
Please be my nanny. You sound freaking funny.
Meanwhile, what was happening in the mansion was crazy. Cynthia's mom couldn't find her anywhere, and was certain someone had kidnapped her. She'd gone down to the police station, and when she got back with some officers,
she found Cynthia and Sally.
Officers, arrest her! You get away from my daughter.
No, Mommy, she's my new nanny.
What, you don't get to decide that, Cynthia. We have no idea what kind of person this girl is, and she looks too poor.
Mom, you always choose my nannies, and they're awful. It's either her or no one.
Cynthia's mom had no choice, so she hired Sally and asked her to move in. Sally was so excited that she'd finally meet her dad, but the poor thing had no clue that she had so much trouble ahead of her. When Sally left for her room, Bella, Cynthia's sister, showed up.
Oh, you're back! I was hoping this time you were gone for good, brah.
Oh yeah, I'm back, witch. And guess what? I picked my own nanny. Wait till you see her. She's so much prettier than you. I can't wait for your boyfriend to meet her. Maybe he'll finally dump you.
Watch your mouth, you little monster!
And with that, Bella pulled Cynthia's hair and they both started screaming. Sally heard them and came running to save Cynthia.
Hey, leave that kid alone or I'm calling the police! What? Do you have any idea who you're talking to?
Well, I don't care who you are, and you don't have any right to hurt a kid like that.
Oh, I have the right to hurt anyone I like. Like now, for example.
And with that, Bella attacked Sally, and they both started wrestling on the floor. Cynthia started screaming and ran off to call her parents. Just then, a man barged in and pulled them apart.
Who are you, and why are you hurting my daughter?
Sally looked stunned when she saw her dad for the first time, and she couldn't say a word.
Daddy, this is my nanny, the nicest person on earth. Bella is just evil.
Sally's dad looked straight into her eyes, and for a moment she almost thought he knew who she was. But then, he just turned to Bella and said,
To your room, now.
As Bella was leaving, she turned to Sally.
I swear I'm gonna make you regret the day you entered this house.
She stormed out of the room, and suddenly, Sally's dad turned to her.
Listen, don't ever touch my kids again. Is that clear? Don't forget your place if you want to stay here.
And with that, he turned around and left. That night, when Sally was in bed, she suddenly heard someone opening her door. She leapt out and grabbed her special broomstick, ready to attack. But suddenly, the door barged open. She let out a scream and hit the boy with the broom, knocking him out. She started slapping his face to wake him up. When he opened his eyes, Sally saw that they were the most gorgeous hazel color. They stared at each other for a few seconds, then quickly jumped to their feet.
That was quite a greeting. You could have just said hello.
You could have just knocked.
I thought this room was empty. Who are you?
What? Who are you?
I asked first, who are you?
Hiya, I'm Sally, Cynthia's nanny. Who are you?
Oh, I'm Bella's boyfriend, Alan. Or at least I was. I think we just broke up for the 20th time.
With that, he climbed out the window.
It was nice to meet you, Sally. Also, the accent is kinda hot.
And then he left. As Alan drove off on his motorbike, he couldn't stop thinking about Sally's eyes. The next day, Sally was determined to tell her dad the truth. She waited for him in the living room, but Cynthia told her that he'd left for a business trip. Sally decided to wait for him, but she had no idea how long she'd have to. One night, Ellen crept up the wall to Sally's window and knocked gently. When she pulled back the curtains and saw him, she looked more annoyed than surprised.
If you've come back to make up with Bella, why aren't you using her window?
I'm not here for her. I'm here for you. Come with me. I want to show you something.
But what about Bella?
We broke up, remember? It's for good this time. Now come.
Sally felt hesitant, but she looked into his warm eyes and just couldn't say no. As the two climbed down and sneaked off across the gardens, they had no clue they were being watched by Bella. Bella ran across the house and burst into her mother's room.
Mom, wake up! Do you have any idea what's happening under your roof? You should have never hired that nanny.
When Bella told her mother what she'd seen, she was angry.
Poor girls like her just want to dig their claws into someone rich, and these men are idiots. But Bella, you cannot let Alan get away.
I'm trying, Mom.
Oh, poor baby. I know you are. Don't worry. Mummy will help you get rid of this nanny tonight.
A few hours later, when Sally climbed back through the window, she nearly fell back in shock to find Cynthia, Mom, and Bella sitting on her bed.
Well, hello, Sally. Where were you? Meeting up with your criminal friends?
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
That's when Cynthia's mother walked up to her, holding a diamond necklace she'd never seen.
I found this in your drawer. To think I ever let a thief like you into my house?
What?
I've packed your bags already, so just get out before I change my mind and call the police.
Sally was horrified, but she knew she had to leave now. She picked up her bags and ran out of the house in tears. While Bella and her mom were cackling upstairs, Cynthia had woken up to the noises. She peeked out of her room to see Sally running out the front door. Cynthia burst into tears and ran after her.
Sally! Sally, wait! Please don't go!
Sally didn't look back even once and got into the cab. At the gate, Cynthia kept running after till the car was out of sight. But when she turned to go back, she didn't realize she'd taken the wrong route. Back at the mansion, Cynthia's mother had found out she was gone. She screamed and woke up all the servants to go out and search for Cynthia. Cynthia's mother called up Sally immediately.
Of course she's not with me, ma'am. I don't know where she is.
Sally, you have to come back right now and help me find my baby. I know, if anyone can find Cynthia, it's you. Please, I'm begging you.
Sally immediately asked the cab driver to take her back to the mansion. When she was close, she suddenly shouted,
Wait! Stop right here!
She jumped out of the cab and picked up a teddy bear from the road. It was Cynthia's. Cynthia had realized by now that she was completely lost. Suddenly, she looked up to see Sally and ran straight into her arms. Cynthia's mother ran out crying when she saw the two walking in through the gate and hugged her tight.
Mom, is Sally going somewhere? If she leaves, I'm going to run away again.
Cynthia's mother grit her teeth. Her plan had failed, but she had no choice. Bella was absolutely furious. As Sally walked back into her room, Bella suddenly grabbed her wrist and whispered,
Listen to me, witch. You're only back here because you seem to be very lucky. But don't you dare go near my boyfriend ever again.
With no clue of what had happened the night before, Alan reluctantly went to the mansion the next morning. Bella's mother had called him in. When he walked into the living room, he found Bella and her mother there.
Before you say anything, Mrs. Charles, please hear me out. I can't do this anymore. I don't love your daughter. And...
Suddenly, Bella's mom flung over a small table, angrily smashing a vase to pieces.
You stupid boy, what's the love got to do with anything? This marriage is really important to both our families, and I don't think your parents will be thrilled to know you've been going out with the help.
I don't know what you're...
Stay away from the nanny, Alan. She really needs this job, and I'll make her life miserable if I see you near her. Now you two grow up. No more breakups and nonsense.
When Sally went downstairs, she almost fell back in shock to see Bella sitting in Alan's lap. She felt so foolish for believing his lies.
We broke your heart.
Sally started to walk away, but Alan pushed Bella aside and went after Sally, gently grabbing her wrist.
Alan, what is wrong with you? What do you think I am? Some toy for you to play with? I don't want you coming near me again.
Sally, you need to listen to me.
No, she doesn't, you jerk.
And with that, Bella attacked him. Sally tried to pull her away, and then Bella attacked her.
What is going on here?
Sally turned around in horror to see her dad, and he looked really mad.
Sir, this was my fault, not hers.
Oh, is that? You will be marrying my daughter next week. I'll talk to your father tonight. Sally, leave my house now.
Sally decided she couldn't hold it any longer.
I've been waiting for you, Mr. Charles, because there's something I need to.
I don't want to hear another word. Leave. Please leave my house.
No, you need to listen to me. I'm your...
Hello, I'm Anne. I'm the oldest of 3 daughters in my family, and it's clear that I'm my mom's favorite. I believe I'm the happiest person, and my mom is the most amazing person on this planet. But before I go on, please like and subscribe. My mom loves me more than my sisters because I'm smart, and, well, my sisters are a bit silly and mischievous. When I was in 3rd grade, my mom started yelling at them during parent-teacher conferences because they were failing all their subjects.
Why are you such dummies? What have I done wrong? That God is punishing me by giving me daughters like you?
But when it was my turn, my teachers couldn't stop praising me because I had won so many prestigious awards.
Yes, I thank God every day for giving me a daughter like Anne.
But when we got home, suddenly Sherry grabbed a chair and threw it at me, causing me to fall and get hurt. Mom punished her and said she wouldn't be allowed to have dinner that night until she wrote, "Please forgive me, dear sister," 1,000 times. But when Bella handed me the paper, it said, "Next time, I'll get you, witch." One day, some guests came over, and Mom asked me to make a wonderful glass of lemonade. When I served them, they all took a sip, then spit it out, coughing like crazy.
Good God, that's disgusting. It tastes like soap.
Wait, what? That Sherry must have done something to it.
See, Mom, I keep telling you, Anne hates you. I don't know why you love her. I can do everything better.
Shut up! Sherry made a mistake. I mean, she's perfect. Even perfect people can make mistakes sometimes. Go be useful for once and go get us some coffee. And, darling, you can go back to studying now.
Sherry looked furious. She dragged me to a corner, pushed me down, and then ran off. What a witch. But thank God our youngest sister, Gloria, is nothing like her. She and I are really close. When I'm busy studying, she always takes care of me. I love her so much. When I was in 8th grade, I saved up my allowance for months to buy my mom a nice sweater for Christmas, and she loved it. But when I came downstairs the next morning, I saw Sherry warming her hands by the fireplace, and Mom's sweater was burning in the flames.
Oh my God! Sherry, what did you do?
I was cold and we were out of wood. And I like watching things burn. And I hate you. And I hate Mom. Maybe one day I'll set your hair on fire while you're both sleeping.
I lost it and attacked her. As we were fighting on the floor, Mom and Gloria rushed in. They were shocked and pulled us apart.
Sherry, you're a mother's worst nightmare. You don't have looks or brains or any good qualities. And you're so jealous of your sister because you'll never be what she is. You'll always be a failure. I'm going to send you away to your aunt.
I was really mad at Sherry, but I didn't want that.
No, Mom, please don't. We're a family and we have to stay together. I forgive her, okay?
I don't remember asking you for forgiveness. Oh, witch!
Bella pushed me away and walked off. I cried for hours because the sweater had turned to ashes. After Mom threatened to kick her out, Sherry was careful not to do anything too obvious, but I could feel her hatred growing. I always had the feeling she was plotting against the rest of us. When I was in 12th grade, we had to attend our cousin's wedding, and she handed me the ring to hold. As soon as we entered the hall, many of our relatives surrounded us.
Oh, Anne, darling, I want you to meet my daughter. I'm always saying I want her to be just like you.
We hear all about your wonderful achievements from your mother. Your daughter is a little Einstein, isn't she?
Mom and Gloria looked at me with pride, but Sherry gave me an evil smile. As she walked past me, she deliberately stepped on my foot.
Little Einstein, my butt. They'll see who the real genius is one day.
Oh my gosh, she really is a psycho. As the party was about to start, I realized that Gloria had disappeared without a trace. I was searching for her all over the building when suddenly I heard a faint noise coming from a storage room. I opened the door and found Gloria lying on the floor, crying.
Oh my God, what happened?
Oh, Anne, thank God you're here. I asked someone where the bathroom was and they sent me here. Then I tripped over something and sprained my ankle really badly. I can't walk.
As we were getting ready to leave, we suddenly heard the door slam shut behind us and the sound of the lock clicking. No matter how hard I pulled, the door wouldn't open. We kept banging on the door and shouting, but no one heard us. A few hours later, the door suddenly burst open and we saw a police officer standing there with all my relatives behind him. Then my sister lunged at me and started hitting me.
Anne, you witch! Where are my rings? You ruined my wedding?
Oh my gosh, what's going on? Oh, it turns out my cousin thought I was going to run away with the rings like a thief. The wedding didn't happen because everyone was out searching for me. All our relatives glared at me as if I were a criminal. There was no way I could prove otherwise. But of course, I knew Sherry was behind locking Gloria and me in the storage room. A few weeks later, Mom came to me one morning and told me about a national science competition with a first prize of $50,000. She told me to enter, and I signed up right away. I studied hard for weeks. More than winning the prize, I was focused on making my mom's wish come true. A few weeks later, Mom rushed to me with the news that I had won the competition. While we were hugging, Sherry showed up and said,
Toot, you're jumping for joy, just like Anne gonna give you all the money. Poor dumb Mom.
Shut up, Sherry. As if I even want my baby's money. It's all for her career. She's going to become a great scientist, remember? Maybe she'll hire you as a cleaner for her science lab. Now, Anne, it says here in the letter that the prize money will be sent in a couple of months, so you'll have to wait a little.
Well, it's been a while since I've seen Mom this happy, so I guess I got what I wanted. I applied to NASA's Youth Space Program, and I was over the moon when I got selected for the 3-month course. Of course, I expected Mom to be overjoyed, but when I got home, she had some shocking news to share. She had been fired.
I'm so sorry to ruin your amazing news. This should be a really happy day, and I'm so proud of you. But how will I manage without a job? How will I send you to the program?
Mom, it's a fully paid scholarship, so you don't have to worry about me at all. And the prize money will be here soon too, and you can use it all for your expenses.
Oh, darling, I couldn't possibly do that. I'll start looking for a job right away. But thank you for being the most amazing daughter in the world.
The day I left, Sherry didn't even bother to see me off. She was too busy with her pointless activities, hanging out with bad boys.
Mom?
Gloria and Mom gave me tearful goodbyes, and I headed to the airport. I only had a small amount of savings for the next 3 months, so I ate just 1 meal a day and didn't spend on anything else. I couldn't ask Mom for money. I didn't want her to work herself to the bone. I finished the course a few days earlier than expected. I bought gifts for the family and decided to come home without telling them I'd be back sooner.
I'm so glad the prize money came before Anne did. Oh, Mom, you're just wonderful how you've made that genius a fool all these years.
Yes, baby, I am the only one with Einstein's mind. But you're really good too.
Hey, have you guys forgotten me?
Of course not, darling. You're the worst. Your acting is an Oscar-worthy performance. The way you made her believe you're her sweet little sister, I'm so proud of you.
She has no idea how much I hate her. What a moron.
Yes, she is a moron, and so was her mom, and your father too. He left the child of his affair on my hands and thought I'd raise her like a princess for nothing.
She's about to get back in a few days. Ugh.
Oh, don't worry. She'll go away to some university on a scholarship. Of course, after that, she'll be too busy working like a donkey all her life and well sit back and enjoy. When I got home, I unlocked the door and let myself in.
Mom, Gloria, I'm home, guys.
The two came running down the stairs and flung their arms around me.
Anne, I've missed you so much.
Oh, darling, I can hardly believe my eyes. You have no idea how I've lived without you these past months.
I was so restless to see you too, Mom.
I gave them their gifts, and they both loved them. Sherry, on the other hand, just threw my gift in the trash and stormed off without saying a word. Ugh, how rude.
I'm just gonna go put my things in my room.
What's the rush, Anne? Just relax for a bit.
I'll just be back in a minute.
When I walked into my room, I was shocked to see money everywhere. Mom and Gloria came upstairs and said that the organizers had just sent over my prize money.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm gonna deposit this money in my bank right now.
But is that necessary, dear? We'll just keep it safe at home.
Mom, we really need this money, so I just can't take any risks. Just let me know whenever you want it. For anything.
When I got home, Mom took all of us out for a wonderful dinner. I was truly happy to be back with my family. A week later, one morning, I heard Mom screaming frantically at someone. I ran downstairs and saw the police standing there.
Are you out of your mind? How dare you tell me I'm trespassing? I'm on my own property. This is my house.
Mom, this notice clearly states that you and your daughters, Sherry and Gloria, are living here illegally, and the rightful owner is Miss Anne.
Oh, hello. That's me. And yes, Mom, it's true. But you already knew that, right? See, I talked to Dad's lawyer and saw his will. It turns out that this house is in my name. So I suggest you do what the nice officers are saying and just leave.
And how can you talk to me like that? I was going to tell you about the house one day. Of course. Why have you turned against me, my darling?
Because I found out you've been against me from the very start. When I came back from my internship, I heard you all talking in my room. I was standing outside and I heard everything.
No, you misunderstood us.
Anne, let me explain.
Just stop this acting now. It's all over. I guess Dad knew you wouldn't take care of me too, Mom. So he decided to do it himself by leaving me this house. I really loved you and would have done anything to make you happy. You played me but you made a mistake. I'm good-hearted, but not a fool.
They were all crying and begging for my forgiveness, but I just told the police to kick them out. I was truly hurt by what they had done to me. Right after my cousin's wedding, I knew they had set me up, but I chose to forgive them. However, they still kept trying to harm me, wanting to take all the inheritance my father left behind. The day after it happened, I sold the house and moved to Paris, where they could never find me again. I left everything and everyone from my past behind, and now I'm living my best life.
Hi, I'm Milo from Sweden. Please like and subscribe. When I was 4 years old, all I wanted was a huge family. Dad, why don't I have a mom? All my friends have moms, brothers, sisters.
How dare you say that to me? Am I not enough for you? Just go away.
My dad was always like this, angry and irritated. He never got along with anyone, and he got fired from every single job he took. We were so poor that he pushed me to school in the stolen shopping cart. No way we could afford a car. When I was in the 10th grade, Dad came home with a crazy surprise. A baby sister from one of his girlfriends. I was over the moon. He didn't even bother naming her, so I did it. I'll call you Annie. Isn't it a cute name, Dad? He didn't care. He was too worried about how we were going to have enough money to raise a baby. Since he couldn't hold the job, he had to borrow money from a local billionaire. Only problem, my dad took the money and ran. He just left me and Annie alone. The billionaire was furious when I told him we couldn't pay him back.
I gave him thousands of dollars. I'll have to call the police, and you two will be sent to foster homes.
No way that they'll separate me from my sister. Please don't call the police. I can pay you back. I can work for you.
You're only a stupid boy. What will you do?
I'll clean the pool, do the dishes, mow the lawn. You can slowly take your money out of my paychecks. Please, just give me a chance. It actually worked. The billionaire let me work for him in exchange for a small salary and a place to live in his pool house. This pool house was way bigger than any apartment I'd ever lived in, so I was thrilled. I went to school every morning with Annie strapped to my chest and worked at the mansion all evening. Everything was going well until one night when I was just about to sleep, someone started screaming outside.
Bubba, I'm scared. Bubba, I'm scared.
Stay here, sweetheart. I've got this. I ran out to see a strange, beautiful girl jumping into the pool.
Woohoo, cannonball!
Intruder, someone's breaking in.
Wow, you're cute. Want to jump in?
I take a broom and some special items to trap her.
What are you doing?
I'm keeping you here while I call the cops.
Stop it, I'm Zoe. This is my house.
Liar, I've never seen you here.
That's because I just moved back in with my dad, you idiot. I lived with my mom before, but get me out of here before I get you fired.
She crawled out of the pool angrily and showed me pictures of her phone with the billionaire.
Believe me now, pool boy?
My name's Milo.
I don't need to know your name if you don't work here anymore.
I'm sorry. I just never seen you before. Please don't tell your dad about this. I need this job. She got so close that I thought she was going to kiss me, but she said...
Anything.
Sure, what do you want? Apparently a lot. Zoe was wild. She partied a lot and stayed out late every day. I had to help her sneak back in each time. One time, she had a huge fight with her dad and ran away to spend the night with her mom. I had to lie in her bed and pretend to be her. So embarrassing. I did all of it for my sister, but as she got older, her needs started changing.
Bubba, when can I go to school like you? I want to play with the other kids.
That made my heart sink. I didn't have enough money to pay for school, but I wanted to give my sister the whole world. I decided to ask the billionaire for a loan, and he said he'd think about it. But little did I know that Zoe was going to wreck everything. It was a night like any other. She was sneaking back into the mansion at 3 a.m. and I was pushing her through the window when suddenly she fell. We fell onto a super expensive television. The screen shattered to pieces. Thankfully, Zoe wasn't hurt, but her dad was really mad.
Who did this?
Milo was cleaning and he slipped.
I could barely protest before the billionaire lost it.
Do you have any idea how much this costs? There's no way I'm giving you a loan now.
What? Wait, what loan?
Please, sir, that money is for my sister. She can't go to school without it.
No way! Figure it out yourself.
I was so mad. I just stormed out of there, locked myself in the pool house. Minutes later, it was a knock on the door. It was Zoe. What are you doing here? Won't you be satisfied till you ruined my whole life?
I didn't know about your sister or all these problems.
Why should I tell you you're just some rich girl who decided to make my life miserable? Please just leave me alone. I slammed the door shut and stormed back in. If she wanted to have me fired, so be it. I avoided her completely. I just went to school and did my work like I used to. I applied for a few extra jobs to do over the weekend. I had to send Annie to school. Somehow, it all changed when Zoe showed up at the pool house one night.
Please don't shut the door. I'm sorry I acted like such a jerk. I brought you something.
She handed me a whole stack of money.
It's my pocket money. Dad tries to buy my love with cash. That should be enough for your sister's school.
I was numb with shock. I can't keep this!
You better, pool boy. I saved up all month for you.
No, take it back.
You can't make me.
She just turned and ran.
Use the money. Thank me later.
This girl was crazy. With her help, I was able to afford a decent preschool for Annie. I didn't have to get a second job, so I had free time to study. I even tried out for the school swim team, and I was so shocked to see I was the fastest kid there. I got in right away. Things at home were the easiest they've ever been. Zoe didn't ask me to help her when she was sneaking in anymore. She even babysat Annie while I was busy. One time I came home to see Annie and Zoe wearing matching dresses. Zoe had shopped for her. I don't get it. Why are you being so nice to us?
I'm making up for being a jerk.
You don't need to spend so much money. You're already forgiven.
Hey, I like Annie. She's super cute and funny. I'm not just doing it for you.
Still, I have to give you something in return.
Okay, then go out on a date with me.
What?
You're sweet, caring, and kind of adorable. I like you. What do you think of me?
I was shocked. How could an heiress want to date someone like me? Before I could say a word, I heard a shout behind us.
What did you just say, Zoe?
It was her dad.
Did you just tell the pool boy you like him?
His name is Milo.
Who cares? You're not dating some poor beggar. Wait, is this why you've been asking me for extra pocket money? Have you been spending it on these two?
He turned purple with rage and marched into the pool house. He started throwing all my things around.
Where's all the cash? Where did you hide it? Give it back to me.
Stop it! I grabbed him and tried to pull him back and he shoved me away.
Your sister is wearing a new dress. Did you get Zoe to buy that for you? You pathetic thief!
He stormed towards my sister and I lost it. I tackled him and threw him into the pool. How dare you charge at my sister? I'm gonna kick your butt! Just then, Annie started crying loudly, and in an instant, all my anger suddenly melted away. I grabbed her and marched into my house to pack all my things. I couldn't live with this monster anymore. I'm quitting!
Don't you dare quit! You still owe me money. Then call the police.
I don't care, I'm leaving!
Yeah, clean your own pool.
Took Annie and got the heck out of there. I called up my swimming coach and explained my situation to him. Thankfully, he and his wife let us live with them for a while. I tried to focus on getting a new job, but I couldn't stop thinking about Zoe. I called her many times since that day, but she never picked up. I had no idea how much trouble she was in. Annie missed her all the time, too. I thought I'd never see her again until the date of a very important swimming match. All the schools were competing, and our biggest donors were coming to watch. I was so focused on the match that I didn't see all the missed calls on my phone from Annie's school. I swam my heart out and won first place. After the award ceremony, I checked my phone and nearly had a stroke. Annie was sick. Her school had gone crazy calling me to take her home. I literally flew out of there and dashed off to her school, ready for the worst. But I found her playing games in the grass.
Bubba, look who I called.
Zoe was behind her giving me the cheekiest grin. I couldn't believe it.
Don't worry, Annie's fine. She just ate some bad food.
I threw up on my teacher. Hee hee hee.
I gave Annie a tight hug and she gasped.
Bubba, you won gold.
That doesn't matter. How do you feel now?
I feel perfect because Bubba wins. Yay, I knew you're the best.
I turned around to thank Zoe but saw her leaving. I grabbed her arm and pulled her back. No way you're leaving just like that. We haven't spoken in months. What's going on with you? Zoe revealed how her dad had become super strict since the incident. He never let her go out anymore and she could only sneak away when he was busy at work. And he was setting her up with some rich boy to marry him. That's crazy, we're just kids!
He thinks I need to be kept under control. I wish I could leave, but he has full custody.
Then you should take him to court again. You need to stand up to him if you want to be with your mom. Fight for it! She knew I was right. She convinced her mom to call their lawyer, but she was scared of moving her stuff out of the house. I decided to help her and went to her mansion together. Her father had a total fit when he saw us. He tried to stop Zoe from packing, but I stood in between them like a wall.
Move, or I will punch you.
Why don't you try, old man? I'll knock you out right now.
I'm calling the police. I have full custody and Zoe cannot leave without my permission.
Fine, do it. Mom's already talking to her lawyer and she's going to fight for me and she will win after I tell the court everything you put me through. Just back off.
She pushed him away and we all stormed out. Her father kept screaming behind us, but we didn't care. When I finally got her to her mom's house and Zoe was literally jumping with joy, we could finally live our lives the way we wanted, and Zoe's dad tried to wreck that many times. He kept calling us for days till we had to block him. Then he filed a police complaint against me saying I robbed him and kidnapped Zoe. I was in jail for 2 whole days while the police investigated the matter. This was so crazy. They just believed his lies until Zoe showed up. She told the cops the whole truth. She wasn't kidnapped, he didn't steal, and her father was a lying jerk. They had no choice but to let me go. I wanted to make a graceful exit, but Annie turned to the billionaire and said,
She wants that!
I was screaming from happiness outside. Thank you so much. You saved my butt.
She was so cool, wasn't she, Bubba?
Coolest. Suddenly Zoe threw her arms around me. Into my shock, she kissed me right on the lips. I was so shocked.
That was so cute. Kiss again.
Shut up, Annie.
Kiss, kiss, kiss.
Sorry, I couldn't help it. I was so worried about you, and I'm sorry about this whole mess, and...
I leaned in and kissed her. It was a quick peck on the lips, but she turned red.
You kissed me.
I'll do it again. I pulled her to me and gave her another kiss. It was perfect.
Hi, I'm Angelina, and my story, it's kind of crazy. But before we continue, please like and subscribe to the channel. My mom worked as a maid at the mansion of a wealthy family, and because she couldn't afford to send me to school, I went with her to work. By the time I was 8, I was helping her with small chores around the house. The owner was a really rich CEO who was never at home, and his wife was really self-obsessed. She left her daughter, Maddie, with the house staff to get beauty treatment so often that when Maddie was little, she called my mom, her mom.
Mom.
I didn't mind, because even though she was a couple of years younger than me, she was my best friend. One day, Maddie and I were just settling down to watch a movie in her room when someone flung the door open. It was Maddie's mom, and she did not look happy to see me.
You girl, what do you think you're doing in my daughter's room?
Mom, don't talk to her like that. She's my friend.
Her mom gave me a glare and walked away. The next day, Maddie's mom called me to her chambers, and I just knew I was in trouble. When I walked in, she got up and said,
I can see you're spending so much time in my daughter's room when she's at school, so I've decided to enroll you in her school too, and you can work afterwards. No need to thank me. Close the door behind you.
School! I think Jaren went to tell Maddie the great news. She seemed excited too, but when we got there together, she asked me to walk a few steps away from her, and once she met her friends, she disappeared. What was going on? I found out soon enough when I was sitting alone in the cafeteria at lunch. A group of girls walked up to me and put a big backpack on the table.
You're Maddie's maid, right? She said, we can ask you to do anything. After school, carry this to my car. I'll be waiting.
Take these assignments with you. I expect them to be ready by tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow morning. Get me a latte and a donut. Here's the money. Keep the change.
What on earth? I ran out to look for Maddie and found her in the girls' bathroom. Maddie, why are you telling people that I'm your maid? I thought we were friends.
Well, Angelina, of course we are, but only at home. I have a reputation to maintain here, and I can't mingle with someone like you in public. You get it, right? See you at home, bestie.
She walked away while I stood there shocked. Was this the same sweet Maddie I know my entire life? Maddie and her friends were always dumping their homework on me and making me run around for errands, and I was getting exhausted. I didn't even get time to study for a big math test and ended up with a big fat D. Later that day, when Maddie and her gang walked up to me and handed me a list of errands for our party, I tore it up. I've had enough. You guys have hands. Don't you do this yourselves?
Oh, that's rich coming from someone as poor as you. You know I pay for your school, right?
Before I could reply, I heard a boy's voice behind me.
Cut it out, Maddie. You don't pay for anything. Now, buzz off before I tell Dad what a brat you've been.
It was Dwayne, Maddie's older brother. I'd seen him around the house, but he mostly kept to himself. Maddie looked furious and stomped off angrily. Dwayne smiled at me.
Sorry, she can be a jerk sometimes. Don't let her push you around. And since you're new here, let me know if you need help with something.
Well, actually, there is one thing. Are you any good at math? Because I'm really sucking at it. He started tutoring me at home, and by the time 7th grade ended, I was getting straight A's. But my grades weren't the only things that changed. As I grew older, I seemed to be catching the attention of a lot of guys. One day, I wrapped up my chores quickly for a movie date with a really cute guy. And just as I was leaving, Maddie screamed,
"Oh, Angelina!"
When I reached her room, I wanted to pull her hair out. She had dumped every single pair of footwear she owned on the floor and handed me a toothbrush.
These are really delicate shoes, so take your time and clean them with this. I need them all by tomorrow morning.
How many shoes are you going to wear at a time? Can't I do the rest later?
Mom, Angelina, and her mom might need to be let go.
I had no choice but to do what she said. My day got canceled, and well, this was the first of many. Maddie always found some way to ruin things for me, and slowly all the boys stopped asking me out. One day when Dwayne and I were studying, I caught him looking at me. What is it?
You know Maddie is just threatened by you, right?
Threatened? By me, why?
You're smarter, prettier, and so much nicer than her. You don't think she knows that?
I could feel myself blushing hard. Just then, Mom called me to help with the dishes, and I floated away on cloud 9. A little later, Maddie appeared, throwing a letter on the kitchen table.
This friend of mine really likes you, Kundos. Why? He's really shy, so he asked me to give you this.
And why are you suddenly being nice to me?
I just said he's my friend, didn't I? I'm not doing. This for you? Just write a response quickly, so I can hand it to him tomorrow.
When I opened the letter, I felt really flattered, but I also cringed a bit. Dear Angelina, or should I call you my angel? I wish I could talk to you, but your beauty just makes me speechless. I wrote back and kept an eye on her the next day to see who she handed the letter to. But she was surrounded by so many boys that it was impossible to tell. The next week, she gave me another letter. Hi, my angel. I think I have the courage to face you. Meet me behind the school tonight at 7 p.m. I was really curious about who this guy was, so I decided to go to the meeting spot. Half an hour went by, and it was getting chilly. Suddenly, Maddie and her friends jumped out of the shadows, laughing hard and recording me.
You thought someone was interested in you? How dumb are you made?
What? This was all you guys?
Duh. Just because some losers asked you out doesn't mean you're something special. Gosh, you're so pathetic. Poor Cinderella waiting desperately for Prince Charming.
I was almost about to attack her when suddenly someone took my hand. It was Dwayne. He pulled me away, and we started walking back home.
I overheard Maddie telling her friends how she wrote those letters to play this dumb prank on you. She's so immature.
She and I used to be best friends. I don't understand why she hates me so much. As tears pour down my face, Dwayne put his jacket around my shoulders, pulling me a little closer.
I don't know why anyone want to lose you as a friend. You are something special.
Before I knew it, he leaned in for a kiss, and it was amazing. Even though the video of me waiting for a non-existent boy was making the rounds at school and everyone was making fun of me, I didn't really care. Dwayne and I had secretly started dating, and the next few weeks were bliss. Dwayne and I were making out in his room one day, when suddenly, Maddie barged in looking down on her phone.
The parents are out and I'm having a party. Can you invite some of your hot friends? Wait, what is she doing here?
Angelina is my girlfriend, you idiot. Now get out.
He shut the door on her face and we heard a tiny crack. Do you think she broke her nose?
Doesn't matter. She's been getting a change at the plastic surgeons for years.
We laughed and started kissing again when we were rudely interrupted again a little later. But this time, it was his mom with Maddie grinning behind her.
Dwayne, seriously, you know all the richest girls in town and you choose this maid? I mean, if this is only for fun and not public, then fine, do whatever, but be careful. She's probably only after your money,
Mama.
Listen, lady, Dwayne asked me out. I didn't, and your money doesn't give you the right to treat anyone like garbage. If you want to be respected, you have to treat others with respect too. Just then, Mom came running, looking pale as a ghost.
What have you done? How can you talk to Madam like that? Apologize right now.
But I didn't. Needless to say, my mom was fired, and I was taken out of the school. When I was packing up my stuff, Maddie walked in and threw some old dresses of hers at me.
Here's a parting gift. They were going in the trash anyway, so same difference.
What happened to you, Maddie? Why did you turn into this awful person and just forgot that we were best friends?
Oh, please. I was only bird at home and you were hired to entertain me. And then you forgot your place. We were never best friends. We never could be.
Well, good luck finding true friends then, Maddie, because the ones you have right now are just here for your money, and I never cared about that. With that, I picked up my bags and left. Dwayne kept texting me, but I didn't have the heart to reply. It was better this way, probably. We were worlds apart. Soon after, Mom found a job as a waitress, but it wasn't enough to make ends meet. So I managed to get a job as a cashier at a local bookstore. And one evening, Dwayne walked in.
Angelina, I'm so sorry about everything my mother said. I really love you. Please give me another chance. I won't ever let her say anything mean to you again.
The next day, I walked into the mansion, and before his mom could say a word, I stopped her with my hand. I'm not your maid anymore. I'm an independent girl dating your grown-up son, and you can't do anything about it. We dated for the next few years, and I graduated high school. I started working at a local cafe, and the old lady who owned the place grew really fond of me. But one day, she suddenly passed away. I had barely registered the news when a man in a suit came into the cafe and asked for me.
The owner has left the business to a girl called Angelina. Where is she?
Oh my God, what? She had left the entire cafe to me. And with that, Life changed forever for me and my mom. We both started working together and turned the place around. It became one of the most popular spots in town. One day, Maddie and her mom walked into the cafe, and a few minutes later, I heard Maddie screaming at a waitress.
Are you stupid? So what if it's not on the menu? Just go ask your chef to make me a salmon salad.
I walked over to their table, and their eyes almost popped out. Ladies, please leave the cafe immediately. We refuse service to ill-mannered customers.
Oh, and you! Another waitress is allowed to talk to me like that. Call the management, and I'll have you fired right now.
I am the management, and I will have you thrown out now. As my staff escorted them outside, the humiliation on their faces was epic for me. With all the money I made, I opened 3 new cafes in the next 2 years. And by the time Dwayne came back from university, there were 4 more. One day, as I was leaving work, I noticed a bunch of paparazzi outside. Suddenly they parted, and Dwayne walked towards me with flowers and a ring.
Angelina, will you do me the honor of marrying me?
Yes, of course! All the journalists snapped pictures and cheered as we kissed.
How does it feel being engaged to the richest boy in town?
It's not a big deal. I'm rich too, you know. Dwayne and I flew away to a private beach to get married, amongst friends and mom, of course. Naturally, his family did not come. We have our own home and 3 cats, and we're all very happy.